The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
We're breaking down the film from the second Jets win on the season, plus Aaron Glenn versus Rich Cimini, the latest on that. That's right. Joe Blewett will join us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We building something, and it's not always going to be pretty. Who want to fly with the Jets?
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Here on a Tuesday, we're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot to talk about with the New York Jets. A reminder, though, get in the Discord, get access to everything behind the scenes by becoming a Patreon member. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Your name in the intro. Merch store discounts year-round. Access, again, to that Discord. Bonus shows, and a whole lot more. Again, it's linked in the description. Or you can go to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Let's say hello right now to our good friend from JetsXFactor.com, the great Joe Blewett joins us now. Joe, the Jets have won 2 straight games. We don't get to really enjoy it for that long because Thursday Night Football is fast approaching.
Yeah, I know. We got gypped out of a show last week. I don't know what happened last week. Big Tuesday, so we scrapped the show. But yeah, a lot going on in Jets land. 2 victories back to back, and now we see if it actually matters, because if they get blown out versus the Pats, we're all going to be pissed off again. So hopefully they compete on Thursday night at the minimum.
The line for the game is still holding strong at 11.5. So Vegas thinks the Jets are going to get smoked. Most people think the Jets are going to get smoked. We'll talk more about the game as we go. But yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see a competitive effort, and let's at least see real progress being made. Because if they get blown out in this game on Thursday, Joe, what did they really do in these 2 wins? You beat a bad Browns team at home, and you beat the worst defense in football, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, like you got slightly better. Like you might not be the worst team in the NFL, but you're still a bottom 5 team in the NFL. Like maybe you've scraped yourself out from the absolute worst to just a bad football team. But yeah, if Glenn's going to be here, which we all think he's going to be now, right? Obviously, with him moving on from Sauce and Q, you don't think they're going to move on from him after this year, no matter how many games he loses. So if he's going to be here, then give us something to be faithful about, and you coming out and winning some games against the teams you're supposed to beat, but then also competing against teams that you're not really supposed to compete against. Hopefully, builds them up a little bit for fans in the future. So
that is well said. Before we get to some film, we start with the latest in a series we've been covering since Aaron Glenn got the job. Aaron Glenn versus the media. So let me set the stage for this cut from the head coach. Rich Cimini yesterday reported that Garrett Wilson is expected to be out 3 to 4 weeks. He re-aggravated the knee injury that he suffered in the game against Denver in London. So that was the report yesterday from Rich. Glenn, speaking for the first time since that report, because it's a short week, this was Aaron Glenn starting off his press conference. And then I edited together the follow-up question following his opening statement. Everyone watching will see right now.
I'm going to pass on talking about injuries. Since Rich, he's not here, has all the answers. So you guys can get all the injuries from Rich.
Last one. Is Garrett a candidate for IR, or is that not something you want to?
Ask Rich.
I'm asking you.
Well, I'm telling you to ask Rich.
He's not here. AG.
Well, you better call him.
No disrespect to you or Rich, but we want to hear from you. That
you guys have been here. You guys have been hearing from me, but now since we're just reporting stuff, that I haven't said, then maybe you should ask him.
So to recap, Rich Cimini publishes a report. The best player on the team is out 3 to 4 weeks. Glenn doesn't like that got out there. So now he will not answer any questions about injuries because Rich Cimini was doing his job reporting on the team that he covers. So instead, Aaron Glenn now wants to take this like childlike approach and be like, oh, ask Rich, when Rich is just doing his job reporting on Garrett. So it's just the people that hate the media and want to make the media the bad guy for everything. I'm sure you love it. But once again, it's another example of Glenn, to me, Joe, creating a problem with the media that he doesn't need to create. And I would think a guy that played in this market understood what he was getting into, and he just goes out of his way to be so combative during these pressers for no reason. It's just silly. Like, I don't understand the tactic, the approach that he continues to take with people that are covering the team on a day in, day out basis.
Yeah, it's just very childlike. Like you said, it's just there's really no point of doing it. And if anything, why not be mad at the source who potentially let that out? Like, why are you mad at a reporter for writing stories? Like you said, star player, number one player on the team. You know, Rich is doing his job trying to figure out information. So he probably asked an agent or one of Garrett Wilson's family members or something, and they told him like that's exactly his job. And getting mad at reporters for figuring out about injuries, for getting mad about, about reporters reporting on you having a bad game and then going out there and saying, yeah, they had a bad game, like getting pissed off about it. Like, what are they supposed to do? Just not figure things out and then have fans get mad at them. So yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. I literally just saw that a couple minutes ago before we got on. It's just so unnecessary.
So I want to read you some tweets from Andrew Marchand, who covers just sports media in general for The Athletic, but many baseball fans in New York will remember Andrew when he covered the Yankees for ESPN, and before that he covered the Mets for, I think it was the New York Post. But point being is this: Marchand tweeted the following: in theory, having been in New York as a player, that should help Aaron Glenn. Instead, he comes off terribly almost every day. It's not that hard. And a fan responded and goes, honestly, fans love it. It's the beat that doesn't. I wouldn't take it so seriously. He's creating boundaries for y'all to respect. So then Andrew followed up and said, the issue is that these sessions are not really made for broadcast. They aren't a show. Reporters are just asking simple questions with an obvious answer just done to confirm basic information. If reporters just assume things, that would lead to inaccuracies. And then Marchand followed up and said, the media is a very easy target, but the media isn't fighting with Aaron Glenn. That's the misnomer. He continues to lose and the knives will be out, but that's the nature of winning and losing. Bobby Valentine was an amazing manager to cover as a young beat guy. I learned so much about baseball, and there was also constant chaos. I remember once saying to him when he was mad about something, I'm asking you questions, not necessarily questioning you. There is a difference. And I think Andrew kind of summed up like the job of the reporter versus like what the perception Glenn has of them, that like he's out, like they're out to get him. I don't think anyone's trying to get Aaron Glenn. In fact, I think the media has been pretty fair with him so far. Right? The fact that teams look awful for most of the year, and he at times in particular has looked completely in over his head in some of these games. It's just an unnecessary battle that is setting the stage for the Jets. If they struggle in year two, then they're going to be coming after him. And I just think he doesn't need to pick these battles with people who aren't out to get him. The media is not trying to do like this gotcha on you because Rich Cimini reported on Garrett Wilson's injury yesterday.
Yeah, it just makes his job a little bit more difficult, I think. And like you said, I think the media, if anything, has been a little bit easy on him considering some of the things he said and all of that. So I don't understand. Just like in the past when you're talking about, Fields versus Tyrod, just say we haven't made a decision as a staff. We're making a decision as a staff. We want to keep that in house instead of, being fiery about it. So it's very necessary. And it's unfortunate, but again, if he wins, nobody's really going to care about the media stuff, but he's just kind of working from behind, I think at this point.
Yeah. I don't get it. So I tweeted the clip and I go, hey, Rich Cimini, any update on when Garrett Wilson or any update on whether Garrett Wilson could be headed to injured reserve? Aaron Glenn told us to ask you. So here I am. And Rich tweeted back to me, I don't discuss injuries, with a winky face. So the saga continues with Glenn versus the media. Better win games, man. That's really what it comes down to. Like, you could be an a-hole with the media if you win. Look at Belichick, Parcells, all that. Yep. When you lose and you pull this act, it's gonna wear thin with fans who are still backing Aaron Glenn because he's in his first year.
Yeah, it's like you said, just win. How many fans like complain about Salah's, being like a bump on a log on the sideline, but then Bill Belichick's the best coach ever, right? Or like, oh my God, this guy's too fiery. And then another guy who wins is fire. And oh my God, I love that guy. Or you have a guy who's a player's coach and another player's coach sucks and you can't have players coaches. So like every kind of coach wins and all that stuff. But the main point is just win games and none of this stuff matters. Don't get blown out versus the Pats. Don't get blown out versus the Ravens, beat the Saints, beat the Dolphins, compete in some of these games. And hopefully it's not a storyline anymore, but it's just unnecessary storylines he keeps, bringing upon himself. So it kind of is what it is.
It never ends. It never ends. They better not get killed on Thursday. Good God. Yeah. All right. Well, we could talk about a win, Joe. So let's do some film. And I promise people, we will do a little QB class of 2026 film at the end of Joe's breakdown. We got a little Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson film for Joe to analyze, get his early thoughts on the top QBs of the quarterback class. But let's start with the game Sunday. Joe Blewett, Breece Hall was unbelievable. Break down this first play that features the Jet running back.
Yeah, and with the Mendoza stuff too and Simpson, I was gonna do like a little bit longer on other shows, maybe like 5 or 6 plays. I think today we're just gonna do like 2 quick plays of each of those guys and like what excites me about them, and we can kind of get into a longer form discussion. But in the offseason, I'm sure we'll have like full blown breakdowns of these guys as well. So here we got a tight inside zone split. His reads are going to be the D tackle to the right side, the 3 tech right above Simpson, and then it's also going to be the 0 tech above Myers. And what I really like about this play for Breece is, and you're going to have like the entire defensive line spike to the inside, or at least from the nose tackle to the defensive end to the right side of your screen, they're all going to spike inside. And again, Breece is reading those two guys to the inside first. So what I like about the play for Breece is it's the timing of the footwork. So because he starts to push vertical, and he feels that there's a big bubble in that B gap. But what I really like about it is because there's the sifter or the split blocker coming from the side he's going to, he can't push too vertical here, because if he pushes too much vertical here too quick, he's going to run into the sifter. So what I like that he does, and you see the right foot planted here right now, he hop steps off of that right foot because he doesn't want to take right step, right step, because he's going to be too close to the nose tackle. So he goes right to explode to the outside, but with timing, because he doesn't want to run into that sifter. So really, really like that. Explodes to the outside. Then sees 49 sitting a little bit more to the, not to the inside, but sitting over the top. And then also to the outside, but you can't see it in the screen right here. There's a crack block coming from the play side. He reads that crack block as well, plants the foot in the ground, and then gets to the outside for 22 yards. So really impressive play for Breece on, again, an inside zone split. First 2 reads, bouncing the run outside, seeing the crack block, having that vision, and then getting to the outside right there for 22 for Breece.
Man, he made so many good plays with his legs. He's the guy. I don't know where you stand on keeping Breece, but I want him back, Joe. I want to have as much talent as possible for wherever the quarterback is next year. And I think Breece is still playing at a really high level, and he's so valuable for a young QB.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even if you have to overpay him by $1 million or $2 million, is it worth it for me to then surround that quarterback, the new quarterback that we're getting next year, like make him feel comfortable? It is. For $1 million or $2 million, it's like a backup defensive tackle. I'm willing to overpay Breece by that much, if you want to call it an overpay. To me, it's not inevitable. I don't think that's the correct like phrasing for it. But if you're not going to trade Breece for a 4th round pick, you have to keep him now, right? Like, to me, it would look pretty stupid by the Jets if they were not to trade him for a 4th and then just let him walk, because you're not going to get that comp pick because of how it works with the offsetting contracts. So I think the Jets need to sign him now, or I'll be relatively critical about them not getting something for him. And then again, you're a rookie quarterback most likely coming in, give him the best opportunities to succeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next play features, who knows, Joe Blewett. Take it away.
These are all just random order plays, and so I'm sorry about that. There's like no rhyme or reason. It's just in whatever order I felt like. But this is a really good play by 2 people specifically. So you have Fashanu, your left tackle, and then Mason Taylor all the way to the opposite side of the screen here. Mason Taylor, we can watch him first. Leaving a rookie tight end blocking a D end one-on-one for an entire rep is typically not something you're going to trust the tight end to win on, but does a really good job, attacks the D end here, lands at least one hand to the inside, stays attached, matches the base, pushes the hip up the arc, and then is the D end trying to corner there, keeps the hand on the hip and drives him up the field. So excellent block by Mason Taylor, one there on a field scramble. And then two with Fashanu, something I've been saying from quite literally when I watched him at Penn State was he needs to change up his punch more. And at the NFL level, rookie year, didn't really change up his punch. And throughout this year, he hasn't really changed up his punch. He typically does. It's like a modified hug technique that he does on DNs. On this play, he changed up the punch and it worked. I want to see more individual hand usage from a guy like Fashanu. And on this play, we see it again. Typically, I go like frame by frame in my show, but it just doesn't work out like this one. So it's going to be a little bit more, blocky here, but. Goes to shoot the left hand here. When he goes to shoot the left hand, Myles Garrett kind of pulls himself away from it, but Fashanu has a good base, so he doesn't get off balance because the base is good. The base is under him, so pulls the hand away. The right hand then comes over the top, lands into the shoulder, and now he's driving him up the field. Let me see if I could time it a little bit better to show you exactly what the technique is, but it's been a little bit wonky. So what he does here is, again, left hand doesn't land, right hand eventually lands into the shoulder. And what he's doing right now is what I call a wrench technique. So you have Garrett, who's a little bit past him. What Fashanu is basically doing right now is he's taking his left hand and pushing it into his chest while the right hand pushes into the small of the back. And when you push the chest and you push the small of the back, it stands the D end up. It stands him up and makes him off balance. We see the D ends getting stood up because of Fashanu's wrench technique. So good job with the wrench. Good job with the individual hand. You should stick him with Myles Garrett, the best D end in the NFL. And then hell of a job by Mason Taylor. 1-versus-1 blocking a D end on that play. So great job by both those guys.
Hell yeah. Let me say this to those tuning in live. We did our Asmaniac raffle this morning. Congrats to our winners. Your prizes were already mailed earlier today. Nice. So we're on the raffle 49. Ladies and gentlemen, our top prize is a signed helmet by Darrell Revis. Prize 2, how about this? LT, a signed LaDainian Tomlinson Jets jersey. Prize 3, a signed helmet by Jets linebacker, friend of the show, our good man, CJ Mosley. So Mosley helmet, LT jersey, Revis helmet. Those are the top prizes. End of the show today. First time we've done this for a giveaway. How about a Jets logoed 3D wall art? Put it in your man cave where you watch the Jets. That's up for grabs. To enter, send in a super chat, $10 or higher, or gift a membership to the community. Again, thank you to everyone who supports these raffles. That's why we could do one every show and why we could do big-time weekly ones all throughout the year. Joe, before you get to the next play, I actually saw this on X, and I grabbed it, and I'm trying to remember where exactly I saw it. But anyway, this is Olu Fashanu being matched up with Myles Garrett. It's just a montage of all the reps. You could see him being outlined here. So I'm just going to roll this. I played it on my show this morning as well. Just kind of give us your thoughts when you watch the film of how Olu did against Garrett, because I thought he was exceptional. Myles Garrett did not wreck this game. I thought both Olu and Membu played great in this win.
Yeah, and they did a similar thing with and that was a really good rep with his anchor, and that's something that's definitely improved this year. And you definitely just saw that with getting snapped back a little bit and being able to get into the anchor. They did a lot of what they did with TJ Watt too. Like they definitely gave them some help. That's another good anchor rep actually. But they definitely chipped and things like that to assist these guys on Myles Garrett because they would be idiots to not. That one, it is what it is. I would like to see him get a little bit more vertical there in that sack, but you obviously have Justin Fields who is on a design. It's a designed rollout to the right side, but I don't like to see how long it. Yeah, one, he stopped running, and two, if you actually watch that rep too, and you're not going to be able to see it on this one. Actually, you kind of can. So you see Tyler Johnson from the bottom. I think it's Tyler Johnson from the bottom right there. His first two reads aren't open to immediately to the right side right there. He should snap his eyes back and get him to Tyler Johnson on the crosser right there. He doesn't, so that is his fault. Fashanu could have blocked up a little bit better, but it's more on Fields. I don't love the play design there either, but nonetheless, yeah, Fashanu did great. They definitely had help, and it was a game that Fashanu needed because he's been a little bit up and down this season, but handling a guy in Myles Garrett right there, obviously got hit by two guys, right? So it's not going to be overly hard to keep him at bay. But they both did fantastic job, even when they were just one-on-one blocking Myles Garrett. So obviously a huge positive that they have hopefully their bookend tackles.
Shout out to Jet Nation, by the way. They are the ones that put this together. So I want to make sure we give proper credit. I'm with you. I was impressed, honestly. And one of the things that does give me some hope for this team, you have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years, Joe. And knock on wood, there's no serious injuries to these guys. I don't think you need to use a single one of those first-round picks on an offensive tackle. I think we got our bookend tackles for the future with Membu and Olu. Yeah,
I could see a late first being used on like a guard, or like a lockdown center. Like it's like a Tyler Linderbaum level center, and he's sitting at 23, 24, 25. Awesome. But yeah, having your 2 tackles of the future, having a guard / center of the future, I think you re-sign Simpson, and then we figure out, one of center or guard. But it's nice to have the offensive line kind of settled in for your rookie quarterback. He comes in and hopefully he could not get hit very much. So yeah, it's huge, and that was a huge game for both of those guys, obviously.
Yep, well said. All right, here we go. Another play from this game.
Yeah.
Looks like it's our first defensive play you'll break down. Joe, take it away.
Yeah, just again bouncing around a little bit, and these are some of the things that the Jets are doing differently in these weeks versus the weeks have passed. Where it's the Browns, so obviously their offense isn't good, but with the Jets, the first couple of weeks they were blowing so many coverages. It didn't matter if they were playing the Browns, the Panthers, or the Bills. They just weren't looking good in general. So what I like right here, and it's really just it's a simple one. What happens here is you have a man coverage here by the Jets, and you have a motion right here. So the safety who's in man coverage on the tight end in motion across the field right now gets picked up by the other side safety. One safety rotates high, or the slot rotates high. And then same thing, you have number 44 right here, which is Fannin, I believe, right? It's Harold Fanning or Fannin, whatever it is. Isaiah Oliver, I believe, is in man coverage on him. But because he sifts underneath the line, now his assignment changes from Fannin to now Judkins, the running back, and Quincy's assignment changes from probably picking up. Actually, it might not be Fannin. It might have been the running back. Yeah, the running back at this point to then Fannin when Fannin crosses the face of the running back. So it seems simple, and it kind of is. But these are things the Jets were not doing in early weeks. It just lagged really bad right there for me. But these are things that the Jets were not doing in previous weeks. Like, hey, passing off assignments soundly. We see Isaiah Oliver communicating to Quincy right there. Quincy then picks up Fannin. He matches Fannin. He sees the screen coming, drives down, makes a tackle for a loss. And again, these were things that were not happening in the first couple of weeks. So it seems like we have some connect between Steve Wilkes and the players now. So that's good, because that play would have went for a few yards there if it was earlier in the year.
It feels like Quincy had his best game by far of the season. Is that what you saw on tape as well?
Yeah, I would say so. The last game, I know people were kind of confused him against the Bengals. Like, oh my God, he played such a great game, but he actually went back and watched him rep for rep. I would say he was a negative in that game. Not super surprised to hear him benched, even though I kind of was. That's a whole different story with that conversation. So it doesn't seem like they were very upfront with him about why that he was playing bad. It's like right. At least to me, Jake, it seemed like he was surprised by the news, but then they're also like, oh yeah, like we're going to talk to people about their problems and all that stuff. Like, so if he was struggling since training camp, why not talk to him in training camp? Why not talk to him in preseason? Why not talk to him in the first couple of weeks of the season? Like, it seemed like they kind of just broke it to him at that point. But nonetheless, his best game of the season. And hold on, let me fix that. I don't know why my camera just went out, but here we are.
Is that you holding back Salah there?
Yeah, no, yeah. I think
you're doing a great job.
Actually is. I was like, that's my Twitter profile picture for a little bit. But let me see.
There you go.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'm just going to use my camera from my computer now because my one camera's not working. So I'm going to look a little bit crappier, but here we are.
You look great. Don't worry.
Yep. I don't know. I'm going to have this little cut thing right here too. So it looks like a little cut in the camera, but nonetheless, Quincy's best game.
Love it. All right, here we go. Let's continue with the all 22. For those tuning in late, we are going to do a little college QB breakdown. Mendoza, Simpson, kind of wet the beak a little bit because God knows the amount of times we're going to be debating these quarterbacks throughout the offseason. And if you tuned in late, 3D wall art. That's right. That's the raffle prize. Gift the membership to enter. No one's gifted yet, so I'm going to be the first person to gift a membership. And I'll tell you what, if you get it, not only are you in for the raffle at the end of the show, but you're also in for next week's weekly raffle. So one membership by yours truly is about to be gifted. If you get it, make sure you thank me for making your dream become true. Ladies and gentlemen, it has happened. Listener Matt Burano is in the Asmaniac raffle. And as I was talking about being the only one to gift, PBM said, I want in. I want the wall art. Well, PBM, guess what? You're in for 5. Mike's memberships went to Jack Needham, Little HP, Jan M, Aaron Messed Up, and Pazix. You all received a channel membership from Purple Belt Mike. All right, Joe, our next play here looks like we got a little Will McDonald making magic happen. So take it away.
Yeah. And this one's like just great awareness by him to recognize that he's getting up a little bit too much past the quarterback's level. He's not going to be able to get vertical here and bend the corner, so he has to get back inside. So I like the awareness from him. He's going up against the left tackle right here. He's in a 4-point stance all the way to the left side of your screen. Comes off the ball, and again, I like the adjustment too. Every rep's not going to work out perfectly like drawn up like you plan it. So what he does here is he rushes off the ball a little bit more, not like straight vertical, but a little bit more vertical. He takes a really hard step with the left foot and then back outside with the right foot. And what he wants it to do is he wants that left foot to kind of freeze the tackle's feet so he can get outside easily. The tackle doesn't fall for it. He continues to get vertical. So his initial plan was vertical, inside, outside, win the edge, but the tackle plays it well. So he goes from that to inside stab, outside, and then bull rush because the tackle kind of sat on it. So he does a really good job here of adjusting in real time. Again, he wants that stab to affect the tackle. The tackle does a good job of continuing to get vertical, doesn't fall for it, sees the open chest, takes the open chest. He then tries to flatten that corner with just a long arm, pushing the left shoulder of the tackle. Realizes, okay, I'm getting past the quarterback's level. I got to spin to get back to the quarterback. Quarterback happens to then try to escape, and he gets the sack. So I like the adjustment on the fly, and then the secondary adjustment of, okay, I'm getting pushed past him vertically. I got to spin back inside to make a play on the quarterback. So I would say probably his best sack of the day in terms of like technique wise and everything else like that.
Will McDonald, man, nice to see that. First time the Jets had a double-digit lead in a game this year, Joe. And I don't think it's a coincidence that allowed Will McDonald to be fully unlocked and just get after the quarterback the way he did.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Like when you look at some of the numbers of, I'm not going to say all the top sack guys, but there's definitely a correlation with, hey, the teams are dropping back and having to throw the ball and getting sacks, right? Like it's obvious when you're playing the Jets of the past and you only need to put up 10, 13 points to score. One, they're going to run the ball a lot. And just be overly conservative because you're not afraid of the Jets offense doing anything. So that's definitely not aided anybody's numbers on this team in terms of getting sacks. So like you said, that there's direct correlation and it makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to say every time the Jets are up by a touchdown or two, he's going to get 4 sacks, but he should definitely have more in this season if the Jets were more competitive in some of these games.
Definitely. All right, next play here. What do we have for this one?
Yeah, this one's really easy. It's just another example of Mason Taylor. And I think this is one of only 2 Justin Fields passes past the line of scrimmage that were completed in this game, which is wild. I think the other one was to Mechie, but top of the screen with Taylor. And, I get maybe a little bit more into the intricacies of the show in terms of like square break versus a rounded break at the top right there.
I pulled up his passing chart real quick just so you could see. Justin Fields only had 2 passes that were completed in front of the line of scrimmage, and one of them is the play you're showing right now. This is the worst passing yard I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it was contested too. Now it's not like receivers were running wide open all day. There's no doubt about it, but there's definitely instances of him holding onto the ball for too long and stuff. Even Tyler Johnson, I think it was a smash concept in the red zone. He had outside leverage on an inside leverage corner, and you're pretty much always going to throw that as quarterback, especially with the Browns and how they're stacking the box and blitzing and all that stuff. He doesn't pull the trigger. I think he takes a sack on that play. So there was definitely some of his fault, but I'm not going to say the receivers running wide open all day. But yeah, top of the screen, you have Mason Taylor, who heavy contested catch here, and it's not easy to catch the ball the way he does. And again, sorry if you guys are lagging because I'm lagging a little bit. But just really impressive for Mason Taylor. One I just wanted to throw in there. Not overly complicated to break down with Mason Taylor here on the in route, but just showing like how hard he's working for some of his catches this year. Again, very, very impressed with the rookie. So
this is not related to that play, but just in general now going forward. Fields in half his starts, Joe, right? 8 starts, 4 of them he's at under 60 yards passing. We can't evaluate Mason Taylor and the other wide receivers, especially now without Garrett. If you don't have a quarterback who could run a normal offense, and I'm not telling you Tyrod Taylor's great, people, but you could call a normal offense with him and he can complete a pass. Fields, there's a 50% chance he's unplayable in that game based on what we have seen this year. Like, I want to see Mason Taylor get more opportunities to do what you just showed on film. If they stick with Fields, we're not seeing that. Like, that's the problem with continuing to throw out this quarterback who can't play. In half his games, he can't play. Like, that is a fact. Look at the games. Half of them, he's at under 60 yards passing.
Yeah, I think the other stat I saw from Nania today, it's like through 8 starts, he has the lowest, I think, second to Jamarcus Russell since like 2009 in terms of passing yards through 8 games. And then there's like some other numbers with through 9 starts and 4 of them or 5 of them only having less than 60 yards. Like, it hasn't been done since like 1973. Like, there's some historically bad numbers that he's putting up. And I just had people last week in the comment section on my YouTube channel like, why wouldn't you just build around Fields? He has no picks this year. It's like, come on, dude. So he's not playing great, and it's hard to evaluate the offense if you can't take shots down the field, if you can't really run RPOs because he can't run them, because he can't make quick decisions, if you don't trust him to run with the ball, if you don't trust him to run read option because he consistently makes the wrong reads with those, it just severely limiting your offense. And like you said, it perfectly is the talent evaluation as well.
Unbelievable. Rye the General with a super chat. He says Mason Taylor's best skill pick, dude, is a legit tight end. I agree. I think you like Mason Taylor a lot too, right, Joe?
Yeah, especially with some of the blocking stuff too. Like, I thought he was an okay blocker at LSU, specifically in the pass game, but in the run game he was severely lacking. But so far this year, not only the contested catch stuff, but the blocking has been pretty good as well. So slam dunk pick at this point. Obviously, few more years to see how it actually turns out, but I'm very, very encouraged through nine games of Mason Taylor.
Hit the like button if you're watching live. We only have 90 likes. Let's get over 100. I bet we could do it. Macy with a super chat here. Was Vrabel really an option? I rewatched Pats Falcons. Vrabel, end of the first half, awesome coaching, and he cares for injured players, always on the field. I don't think he was a real option once New England became available. I think the Jets maybe could have had him if New England didn't open up. They could have just money whipped him and gave him full power, which I've heard from people I trust. That was the plan if they can get him. But no, I mean, New England obviously opened up. He's a lifelong Patriot who's in their Hall of Fame. He was going to go there. As far as the second super chat from you, Macy, did you like what Sirianni did last night, trying to ice the game, going for it on 4th down? Would you want Glenn doing the same, or rather kick or punt? No, I did not like that at all. Punt and play the field position game when your defense has been lights out all year. I thought that was a ridiculous decision by Nick Sirianni. He got away with it because his team is an all-star team that came up with a stop. I don't know if you saw the end of that game last night, Joe. I thought that was asinine what Sirianni did. He got very lucky to get away with that.
Yeah, you have the Packers who haven't been able to drive the ball down the field the entire game and punt the ball, make them work for an extra 45 yards or whatever exactly it would be. But instead, if you don't get that, they get the ball near midfield. I didn't agree with it either. It is what it is. It worked out. He lucked out a little bit with that, but yeah, I didn't agree with it either. Now, if it was 50-50, 50-51, something like that, like the vintage Chiefs, Bills game of a couple of years ago in the playoffs, then fine. But in that game, slugfest, I don't understand not punting it either.
Ladies and gentlemen, more of your super chats as they come in, like this one from Rude Drude, who's in the raffle for 5. I think Sabo put it perfectly earlier. A lot of the Fields fans are just fans of dual threat QBs. Just because Lamar happened doesn't mean he's going to be replicated over and over. Sometimes it's not going to work. And Lamar can complete passes. Lamar Jackson has thrown for 4,000 yards in the season. He's not this inept passer. Like, Lamar's a really accurate, precision quarterback. He's improved dramatically since he entered the league in that area.
Yeah, you have to be able to throw the ball too, right? Because if not, Taysom Hill would have worked out. Like he'd be a starting quarterback right now. So you have to be able to throw the ball as well. So just like the Browns did against the Jets, you can't put 8-9 guys in the box consistently. You have to have that pass threat as well. So you want the dual threat quarterback, but if they can't pass, obviously give you the passing. We're seeing that with Justin Fields.
100%. All right, next play here. This is the touchdown that the Jets had on offense. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatness of Breece Hall. Take it away, Joe.
Yeah, and this one's easy again. And Breece Hall said it, and this is a good call by Engstrand. You had a team they were playing cover zero a lot this game, just blitzing the Jets and matching up man for man because Fields struggles versus the blitz, and the Jets receivers can't get open. Everybody but Garrett Wilson pretty much at this point. So Breece said it before the game, like they knew the blitz was coming. He said that basically if he stays into block, that the linebacker comes and gets him, which is you can call it a hug rush, or you can call it a green dogging, which is basically, again, if he stays the block, he's now a blitzer. If he goes out in coverage, he's now the linebacker's now in coverage on Breece Hall, and Breece Hall, the linebacker who's standing like between that B gap, is in coverage on him. Obviously, you have the offensive line who initially stays into block. And like he said, he knew that there was going to be man coverage on this play. So he was saying, as long as Tippmann can get out there to block him, I should have a lot of green grass. You have Tippmann who moves really well, gets outside, gets the block on the linebacker, and then just a race at that point, right? And you're seeing some of the explosion from Breece kind of return to him. I don't think he's as fast as he was in his first 2 years, but he showed more explosion in this game. Good job by Fields, obviously taking the hit and still delivering that ball. Hell of a job by Tippmann, the timing, getting out there, and obviously Breece the speed to take it for 42 yards, which was 42 of Fields, was it 54 passing yards? So past that, 12 yards. So Breece Hall did 80% of the work from right there in terms of the passing yards.
God, he is. It's amazing they won this game. Obviously, you get 2 touchdowns from your special teams. That's going to help. But think about it like this. It would have been 17-3 at halftime without the 2 touchdowns from the kickoff and punt returns. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if Glenn would have benched Fields. If they're down 17-3 with him having -5 net passing in that game Sunday, does he bench Fields and go to Tyrod for the second half of that game?
Yeah, I think he might, even though he maybe not. Like he feels so indecisive on some of those decisions, right? Like yelling at Costello to only bench him, a half later. So I don't really know. He's hard to read, but I can tell you, I was in the stadium. It was probably half full the entire game, but a lot of the fans were booing the offense. A lot of fans were screaming for Tyrod at halftime. Not that it affects, Glenn's decision, but the fans definitely wanted it, and I 100%. If they didn't get those returns, I think they probably turned to Tyrod, or at least I would at that point.
I would have been right there screaming for Tyrod too if I went to that game. God bless you, by the way, for going to that game. Goodness.
I'm not a good Jets fan. I like to have beverages with my buddies in the parking lot. Nothing to do with the Jets. So it's not that I'm a diehard. I just like having fun with my buddies. That's really all it is.
Respect, man. Respect. Ladies and gentlemen, Mad Team Parents is in the Asmaniac raffle for 5.
You tell me how crazy I am. I just took 4 chair headshots.
What Beast is describing there is what it's like to be a Jet fan. We do the same thing every week, and it feels like we're taking a brick and smashing it into our head.
Yeah, you have so many drops in the show. Like I have to watch it, and I know some of them are AI and some of them are not. So the part of the fun is trying to figure out which ones are AI because of the craziness of them. Like you have a dude was that a cutting board? Was he just bashing a cutting board into his face? Like I don't know what happens on this show.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, sometimes we do use AI like maybe this. Other times we don't. So you got to be on your toes around here, Joe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the cutting board. So when that pops up again, I'm gonna be interested to see. That's my guess. Watching that quickly. So yeah, definitely interesting. But yeah, I got 2 more of these plays. The one is the play. I'm sure people saw it on Twitter. I think Baldy was breaking it down with this one. It's what I call a Bob zone. So it's basically inside zone, tight zone, and then you're gonna have an insert here to the backside backer, and they're basically gonna leave the linebacker unblocked and trust Breece Hall to make a play with him one-on-one. Now, unfortunately, Simpson loses his block against the 3-tech right there, so the 3-tech's also in the backfield. So and some people think like if that guard goes to the left side, they're like, oh, it's on inside zone. I can get into it, but like there's like what you call like a 90-50-10 rule in terms of zone, and there's no 90, there's no 50, there's a 10, so he goes back to the 10. If there's a guy play side, he goes there, but you can work back in zone, by the way. So just for the for the one person who maybe needs to hear that, but nonetheless, he gets the ball as the linebacker fills really quickly. And what I like here again from Breece is the kind of the decisiveness. He hops again off that right step. Like at this point, he knows he's gonna have to get laterally quickly, so he doesn't want to take left stride. Right stride because it's going to bring him close to the linebacker. So he goes right because he knows he wants to get at least to the left side, just like kind of an instinct here. But like the picture here, and again, I know this was on Twitter, so I don't mean to rob it, but like if you look at this picture right here, do you think Breece is going to get anything that's even close to 30 yards right here? No. But the timing of it, the explosion to the outside, hell of a job by Breece Hall again, picking up 30 on a play that should have went stadium. Could have went for -3 on that one. But yeah, no, Breece was getting some Breece chance, dude. He looked happier after this game. Again, he's a little bit of like a receiver in a running back's body to me, like how he tweets and kind of how he acts. But overpay him by $1 million and bring him in for a rookie because he's plus average at the minimum this year. Last year he was not good. This year he's been definitely solid.
Good to hear that. I mean, we'll take the wins where we can get them. Joe, I don't know if you know this. Michael Nania was the first to make me aware of this. But if the Jets do win Thursday, they're doing something we like to call lurking. A win on Thursday, and the New York Jets join the lurking graphic. Forget in the hunt. We want to be lurking, baby. Yeah.
I'll take lurking compared to what we were doing the first couple of weeks of the season. I don't know what we call that, but yeah, give me lurking. It's just now it becomes difficult, right? Because like my brain says lose, my heart says win. I'm not rooting for losses yet, but it just makes it's going to make it a tough spot where like all the picks we just traded for, are we then going to have to take those picks and trade up for a quarterback? Which you do it if you like the quarterback. I would just rather finish a little bit higher and save the other 4 first-round draft picks, but I guess we'll see with the rest of the season.
Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Jets, you heard it here first, 1 win away from lurking. Hell yeah, can't wait. All right, here we go. A little Germaine Johnson getting in on the defensive fun here, Joe.
Yeah. This one's pretty easy too. Left side of your screen, JJ versus the right tackle. Which is it still Jack? I think it's still Jack Conklin for them, if I'm not mistaken. He's been there for a while because I remember the big battle of the Jets that year. It was everybody wanted Jack Conklin, and then I think we signed George Fant in that offseason. So he's been there for quite a bit. But really all he does now is he's just going to rush the right tackle as he kind of closes ground into the right tackle. What he does is he reduces his strides. And reducing your strides just allows you for quicker change of direction. So he's not sure exactly where he's going to cut, but he wants to be in control of the lower half. So shortens the stride as he gets up to the right tackle. The right tackle shoots his hands. He times it with a double swipe, arm over to the outside right there, and picks up the sack on Dillon Gabriel. So I really like just the timing of it. Again, the reducing the stride to allow for that quick change of direction, and then obviously the accuracy and the timing of the hands to double swipe, arm over, and get the sack. So a nice play by JJ. Most of his sacks are a little bit more like chase down or effort sacks, but you'd like to see him just win one-on-one cleanly like that against at least decent right tackle.
Love seeing this. We need more of this. I mean, as well as the defense played in this game, isn't it nuts they still don't have an interception this year? It's crazy.
Yeah, and even the fumble, like I don't think Brownlee specifically try to rip that out. I think it's just making a tackle. Like they haven't had like a punch out fumble where the guy's actually trying to punch it out, and no picks. Even though you had the one play where Dillon Gabriel threw it so bad it hit Brownlee in the face. Like maybe he should have picked that one off. But yeah, it's wild. I don't know the stats. I know you get all the stats from like ESPN. They send out the stuff, whatever you said. But like, is there a way to figure out when's the last time a team has been this deep into the season without an interception? Like I know there's the turnover stats, but has any team been 9 weeks through the season without a interception at this point? Because that's a wild number.
I think the 2013 Colts, someone said it's unprecedented is what we're seeing though. I mean, they have one turnover all year. It's insane.
Yeah, they got to start forcing more. Glenn's defense has never been a defense that like just stops people. It's more about getting those interceptions because you're blitzing and forcing quarterbacks into bad decisions and things like that. But when you're not forcing interceptions, the defense is going to struggle. Obviously, it hasn't. It didn't last week. But Dillon Gabriel is also, my God,
he stinks, dude. Oh my God. Bad. Dude, how bad is Shedeur Sanders in practice that they at no point have gone to him?
Yeah, that, and there's a lot of Browns fans talking about that around me. It's that, and like also, is it the immaturity that I don't like? Because say what you want about him, like I saw immaturity. I don't know how else to phrase it when the media is asking you questions by your locker and you're answering, but you're not talking. Like you're just mouthing words. Like that's to me immaturity. So is it something where they just don't like him as a person? They don't think he's the right leader for the spot as well. I think there has to be some level of that into that equation as well.
Bizarre. Hey, we're giving away a 3D Jet logo wall art piece at the end of the show. If you don't win that, well, you're entered to win a signed Darrelle Revis helmet, signed LaDainian Tomlinson jersey, and a signed CJ Mosley helmet. Before we get to more film with Joe Blewett, let's talk about today's sponsor. That is Cornbread Hemp, Cornbread CBD. Life, it gets hectic. Sports, work, travel, the constant roller coaster that is being a Jets fan. So when it's time to unwind at night, I reach for Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. I got mine right here in my hand. They become part of my routine. For me, it just helps me slow down, breathe a little, and actually relax at the end of the day. I've tried a bunch of CBD products in the past, and the biggest difference with Cornbread Hemp is the quality. This is the best stuff you're going to find. And you see on the graphic there, if you go to the website that is linked in the description or the pinned comment, you got a chance to save 30% off on all the various products that they have. They are USDA organic and third-party lab tested, so you know exactly what you are getting, whether you're trying to ease some daily tension, settle down in the evening, or just want a little help unplugging your mind for the night. These gummies are a game changer. Here's the hookup, Asmaniacs. Again, click the link in the description or go to the website, use the promo code at checkout, Asman, and you'll get 30% off. That's cornbreadhemp.com, promo code Asman, and you will save 30% today. Shout out to Cornbread for being a part of our show this month. All right, Joe Blewett, what do we have left to break down here from this victorious Jet moment in time?
I could just get right into the quarterbacks, unless you want to see the punt return and the kick return from the all 22 angles. That's your call.
Why not? Give us 2 touchdowns. I don't know if we'll see too many on Thursday.
Let's see. Okay, so we had the kick return first. I'll have to slow this down 1,000 times and keep rewinding it to tell you exactly everybody's blocks. Go to Anania's Twitter, and he broke down every single player who had good blocks on this incident. But I was actually sitting like right behind this. But credit to, I remember a few people on this one specifically. I know Isaiah Davis had a really nice block. Stiggers had a really good block as well. And then I think it was Weston and whoever 53 and 54. I forget exactly all the names of some of the new linebackers they've brought in recently, but yeah, hell of a job by Nguanu, reading it. Isaiah Davis sticking with his block. And like you said, if you go back and watch this play, really everybody takes their job seriously. So credit to the entire special teams unit for that one, because if you go back and watch it a few times, there's quite a few really, really good blocks in there. So credit to him. 99-yard kick return to the house for Nwangwu, however you say it. The problem with him is he's just never healthy, right? Like I would love to re-sign him, but you have to factor in the injuries with him as well. So hoping they can get him back though, because he's legitimately a top 5 returner when he's healthy. He's very, very good.
Shout out to the Jets special teams unit in general. There's a lot of negatives with this team. Chris Banjo has been the best coach on the staff. I mean, the kicking game, Nick Falk doesn't miss. McNamara is having an all-pro level season at punter, and Nadia has the DVOA for the Jets. They rank number 1 in the NFL in DVOA, and the gap between the Jets and 4th place is larger than the gap between 4th and 26. So the Jets are first in field goal and extra point percentage. They are first in kick returns, second in punting, 5th in punt returns, or second in punting, 5th in punt returns, and 11th in kickoffs. They'd be higher than 11th if Nwangwu was healthy all year. The special teams have been great. They have held up their end of the bargain. I've asked, hey, what has Aaron Glenn improved over last year's team or previous teams we've seen under Saleh? Special teams is by far the thing you could point to. We need to see other improvement, obviously, but the special teams unit has been very good this year once they stopped fumbling and got rid of Xavier Gibson and all that.
Yeah, I think the only thing you really discredit them for is the personnel decisions, in terms of the Isaiah Williams at first, Braylon Allen back there, Xavier Gibson. But past that, you're talking about and again, I'm not privy with punting numbers and stuff. Nani is because he's a psychopath, but he's a top three. He's a top three punter in the NFL right now, right? Like, I don't know. How do you quantify that? I don't know. It's like I go out there and watch a bunch of punters like, no, this guy from the Rams is definitely better. Like, I honestly don't know. So I just rely on the numbers. But yeah, probably one of the, if not the best punter in the NFL. And then Nick Folk might not have the deepest range, and knock on wood, when's the last time the dude's missed a kick? So hell of a job there. Then Nkwunu's a all pro when he's healthy. So yeah, credit to Banjo for sure. And there's a reason that Sean Payton obviously recommended him.
Chris Banjo, shout out to you, sir. You've done your job. All right. We did the kick return. Now let's do the Williams 74-yard punt return here. What stood out when you watched this one?
Yeah. So I think this is another good Stiggers block. He's the one who's nearest to him right there. Stiggers sticking with it. You have Beck, who does a really good job recognizing the alley right here, and he blocks it up very well. So I would say mostly Stiggers, mostly Beck, and then also you have I think it's Stone Smart, number 84, holding his block really deep down the field as well. So hell of a job by Isaiah Williams, just recognizing the alley, obviously seeing the punter get over the top right there, seeing number 5 speed turn to get back outside and shoot in the alley, and Stone Smart leading the way. So yeah, I'm not the biggest breakdown of special teams guy out there, but like you said, it's nice to see touchdowns with anything associated with the Jets and us getting touchdowns. We'll look over it. So
I think Brian Costello had a stat that the Jets now have more special teams touchdowns in the first quarter of games than they do offensive touchdowns in the first quarter of games. They have one first quarter touchdown this entire season compared to now 2 first quarter special teams touchdowns. Think about that.
Yeah, that is wild. I was trying to think. Yeah, the Steelers, and then we scored a first half touchdown with Cincinnati, but that was in the second quarter. So yeah. Right? I think, they scored a second quarter touchdown against Cincinnati. So, yeah, that is wild. There's always like historic numbers that we're a part of. I think there was historic numbers for the Browns this week in terms of like
we were on the other side of that
less
stat
than 175. Yeah. It feels like the Jets, where it's like no team has ever lost a game like this since 1965 when they get 400 yards, but they still lose. It's like, so it's nice to see that the Jets are on the winning side of a bad stat like that. And obviously, great special team stats as well, which is nice.
Unbelievable. Joe, are you ready to do our first foray into the college QBs that we're going to be yelling and screaming and arguing about for months when we get to the offseason? I can't even say the offseason. We've started now. I'm taking calls every day on Simpson versus Mendoza. More, wait till 2027, which makes me want to blow my brains out. I just know what's coming, but I'm excited to get your early thoughts here on 2 of the guys we'll definitely be discussing. Fernando Mendoza from Indiana and Ty Simpson from Alabama.
Yeah, my Twitter was wild this week. I don't know if you saw it all, but like Monday I did like 30 plays of Mendoza. Tuesday was like 30 plays of Simpson. I think Wednesday was 30 plays of A.D. Mitchell, and then Thursday was 30 plays of Moore. So my Twitter was just a cesspool of people. He sucks. He's great. This play sucks. No, it's actually great. Like there's going to be opposite sides of the spectrum for everything you put up for the most part with that stuff. But the discourse is always wild and it's always fun. It's always fun because some of the people putting out some of these plays and stuff is just, I'm not even going to get into it, but just be careful. Be careful where you get your info. That's what I'll say. Some of the breakdowns I see are just, they're wild. But I'm ready to argue for 3 months. Here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we give you the first taste of Fernando Mendoza at Indiana. Here we go.
Yeah. So we have a Yankee concept that he's reading to the middle of the field right here. So you have, if it would pause, to the bottom of the screen is going to be a post, and then to the middle of the field. I don't know if you're controlling that. Maybe you are, Jake. It running a little bit, but
my hands are up.
So yeah. Keep the hands up, Jake. Jesus.
I know you're a cop, Joe. My hands are up, all right? You have full view of everything here.
Taser's in my left hand below the desk. You just can't see it. So he's gonna read the post to the crosser right here. You have the safety on the bottom of the screen who is sitting over the top, so he's not gonna throw that post. And then also on the crosser is also can you guys hear me? I feel like I froze.
We hear you. Yep.
Okay. Is the play still going? Because I'm frozen, you're frozen, and the play is frozen.
Yeah. So you're not frozen, but the play for us is.
Okay.
So let me reboot it for you real quick. Let me see if that will help us.
Yeah, let's do that. I don't know what's going on here with the internet.
It's probably StreamYard if I had to guess, but don't worry, we will figure this out. It's also college clips too, so they're probably more fugazi than the NFL clips
There we
we
go.
play. Let me see. It's not playing on my end. It's not coming up on the screen. I don't know if you see it. Hold on.
It
Now
is
we got.
playing
There
on
we
my
go.
side now.
We got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Take it from the top.
Yeah. So he's gonna read that bottom post to the crosser from the slot. The post, if you look to the bottom, is obviously covered up with the DB over the top of it. The crosser that's coming underneath of it obviously has a DB matching it as well, so he's not going to throw that. So he gets his eyes to 1 to 2, and then the number 3 here is going to be that backside dig route. And if you look when he decides to throw this ball, let me see if it's going to work with me here. Hopefully it is, because it's been a little bit laggy. If you look at the play, and I guess we'll just play it full through because it's lagging again. So sorry to the people out there because I don't know what's going on, but he decides to throw this ball as there's a linebacker kind of sitting underneath of it, but he knows that linebacker is going to match that flat, and he's going to start working out to the left side. So he throws the ball behind him with anticipation, getting to the third read. So you'd like to see him get through 1 read to 2 reads to his backside third read, all very quickly, and having the anticipation to fire that backside dig instead of having to wait for the window to open. I just wish I could show it to you guys because it's not loading, but
That's all right. We'll do another clip here. It's just I watched the completion of the Penn State game a couple times back, and there's been some like all 22 stuff that has popped up. So I actually could pull up for you, Joe, a little montage of Mendoza's best throws from that game. Let's see. Here it is. So feel free to just opine on what you saw when you were watching the film on some of this stuff.
So the only issue I have is right now, maybe Jake, I think I'm going to restart my StreamYard and then come back because my stream is completely frozen. So I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to restart it.
I'll tell you what, Fernando Mendoza, as Dylan pointed out, is so good at quarterbacking. He broke Joe's StreamYard. So Joe, you come right back and we'll finish the film review here. I'll give the other people that are still watching, AKA the 300 plus of you live right now and thousands after the fact, a little Fernando Mendoza highlights here as we debate at nauseum who the Jets are going to take in the offseason. I'm a Mendoza guy. Subject to change my opinion after I hear Joe Blewett's thoughts. Oh, man. The quarterback discourse is going to be out of control this entire offseason. If you're watching live right now, make sure you hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. These are all the best throws that Mendoza made against Penn State. So if you watch that game on Saturday, it was awesome. Especially because he wasn't great for a lot of the game, and he was missing some guys that he normally throws to who were out with injuries, and he was making accurate NFL level throws, good poise in the pocket. He got sacked on the first play of the game-winning drive, and it didn't affect him at all. It got back up. He converted on a huge 3rd and long, keep that drive going. And I mean, look at the placement, right? It's not just that he's throwing a touchdown. It's like you got to analyze the placement of the ball too. Putting it exactly where you want it. Like these are NFL throws. So I like Mendoza. He's played the most ball too of the guys that are coming out. The debate with Simpson is going to be, has he played enough games? Right? Can you take a guy that, was on the bench for 3 years? My response is, yeah, you can. Because guess what? Everyone in college football now is going all over the place. And here's a guy that stayed at Alabama. Nick Saban recruited him. I like that. So I like Simpson too. I'll play you this while we wait for Joe Blewett to come back. Connor Rogers, who's excellent on SNY and is the co-host of the Badlands podcast with Joe Caporoso. Connor was a guest on the podcast that what's his name does. Kevin Clark's podcast with ESPN. And Kevin asked him, hey, which prospect do you think would make sense for the Jets? And this was Connor's answer on that.
Because there's still so much an uncertain nature around this class where I like Mendoza. I don't love him like the general public does. I don't think he's this. He's not your typical surefire 1-1 is what I would say. He's not even 100%. My number one. He's not my number one quarterback right now.
Who is?
I think I'm kind of starting to lean towards Simpson, but because I don't think Moore's coming out. For a while, I saw Moore with the most promise, but it seems like such a low percentage that Moore actually declares. Oregon obviously can pay him whatever they want. He can continue to develop, and that's a really good place to develop, as we've seen with multiple quarterbacks so far. So there's a lot of football left to be played, but if the Jets have to take a quarterback this year, which they shouldn't, but you never know the inner workings of these organizations. They could wait till 2027 when they also have 3 first-round picks. If they have to take a quarterback next year and they can find an actual bridge answer where this player doesn't have to play right away, I do like Ty Simpson to the Jets. I think he has the right DNA. I think he has the right mindset. The way he attacks the field, you have Tanner Engstrand coming from Detroit, and I'm not going to call Ty Simpson Jared Goff because that's not fair to either of them. But his mindset attacking the intermediate and deep areas of the field, and he has his misses. We saw this weekend. He's a guy that'll miss throws. He is a first-year starter. He was on the bench for 3 years, which is a really good thing at Alabama as a 5-star recruit. I love that. I don't have the same. Everybody's like, can you draft a 1-year starter anymore? Well, everybody's alignment and stories and transfer stories are different. I like that he's been at one program as a 5-star. But I think if anybody is going to kind of succeed there out of this group, I do like Simpson's fit with the Jets a lot. Can you put enough talent around him? He's really doing a lot of this without a great run game right now, which is so bizarre to say about an Alabama football team. So if he's the guy that ends up declaring, I just think he has the actual mindset and skill set that if they let him develop a little bit, don't throw him into the fire right away, I think it would have a legitimate chance to work out.
All right, so good analysis there. Let's say hello to Joe Blewett, who joins us. I don't know how much of that you caught, but I was talking more about these QBs as you were rebooting there. The big debate with Simpson is going to be, did he play enough games to warrant a top pick? From what I have seen, and from some of the experts like you and Connor and some of the other people who do this year-round, study the film and give opinions, sounds like he's got all the traits that you would look for, but that's going to be the debate with Simpson, I feel like. Does he have enough starts to warrant being a top 10 pick in the draft?
Yeah, 8-9 starts so far. You also worry a little bit about like he can be a little bit panicky in the pocket. He could skip some open reads at times and be overly aggressive. There are some throws he can miss, specifically under pressure. But some of the plays, hopefully my computer and it all works out now, or if it's StreamYard, whatever. But I'll show some plays of him just throwing absolute dots. He has the highest upside in the class, at least in these top 3 guys, in my opinion. I do think his ceiling is higher than a Moore, so I'm not there with Connor. I don't think Moore has the arm talent that a Simpson has. But yeah, it's interesting to see because I'm worried about the pocket presence and I'm worried about the lack of starts, because the pocket presence, he gets some shades of Zach Wilson with that. I'm not saying he is Zach Wilson, but that's what Zach Wilson struggled with at the NFL level. Not saying you can't. And then the fact that he's 6'2" and he's only started 8 or 9 games is another concern. But that's what we talked about before the stream even started. Like, hey, who is the number 1 guy for me? And right now it's Simpson for if I had to choose.
I like it. All right, here we go. Another Fernando Mendoza play, though, Joe. Let me get this up for you. All right, we should be able to see it. Take it away.
Yeah, this is the first one I showed. I just want to show it because I'm not sure if people could actually see it the first time. But bottom of the screen, the post to the over to the backside dig, anticipation to that backside dig. It's still being a little bit sketchy on me in that clip, so I'll just move on to the next one of Mendoza. The next one is going to be verse a cover 2. Let me just pull it up really, really quickly. And Jake, I do think this is a StreamYard thing, by the way, because I am plugged into my Ethernet, so I don't know what is going on right now, but here we are.
When in doubt, blame StreamYard. I've always said it.
Perfect timing, right? Just for me to show film clips. It's just like, okay, this play is working out a little bit smoother. So maybe it's that clip, which really wouldn't make a lot of sense either. But he reads the bottom receiver, the number 1 here, on the out and up. The out and up is not going to be. It's not going to be open. It's not playing for me again. He gets his eyes to the number 2 to the inside, which is going to be a stop or a curl route. He sees that the linebacker is getting a little bit widened on that route. And he knows he could fit the ball inside to the linebacker. And he does so. Again, it is not playing for me, Jake. So I apologize. I don't know what the hell is going on right now, but another tight window throw that you might not be able to see. So
we actually can see it. So don't worry. We see most of it anyway.
Yeah. It's all just frozen on my side. But what I really like about it, if you did watch the play, is just anticipating that linebacker is shuffling to the outside, and then the linebacker starts to gain depth, and he knows, okay, if I can lead this ball to the inside, I'm going to trust my receiver on that curl, on that stop, to attack the ball to the inside, and he fires the ball in there. It's just like it's so funny to watch Mendoza make plays like this play. And then you have people defending Justin Fields like, oh, there's no way Justin Fields can throw that ball. There's no way that linebacker wasn't going to get there. And then you see Mendoza at Indiana making throws that are 5 times more difficult than the throws that they're saying that Fields can't make. So it is a nice play to show that, hey, you actually can throw people open. You can have anticipation. You can get through your reads. You can fire the ball through tight windows. So if you are able to see this play, then awesome for you, because I'm just stuck on Frozen. So it is what it is at this point, I guess.
We can see it. Don't worry. It's just slow down for us, which actually is perfect because that's the type of throw that you want to see slowed down to see how tight that window was that he got that pass through.
Look at that. It's working out perfectly for you guys. Good thing I mostly remember these plays, because if I didn't remember those plays and I was freestyling that, then I just lied my ass off. But yeah, no, it's good that you guys are able to see that. So I'll try to pull up the plays of Ty Simpson if I'm able to on my side. Let's see here, Jake.
In the meantime, I'm reading Hennessy's super chat. He says, I'm not calling out sick. I'm telling work. Ask Rich. Yes. When in doubt, ask Rich Samiti. He knows all about injuries. According to Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think, Jake, I don't think I'm going to be able to pull this up. I might have to take a rain check on this Simpson film, unfortunately.
It's not meant to be, Joe. Let's not force the issue. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be.
Yep. Yeah, my fault, chat. I'm plugged into the Ethernet, but StreamYard does not want you to see the quarterback film. We're pissed off that we've been talking about November quarterbacks, so it's not allowing us to do our thing. So we'll continue it, I guess, a different time when StreamYard wants to work with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, another time we will get into it because we have an entire offseason to debate these QBs. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. Joe, if you got time for a couple calls, would love to have you be a part of it.
For sure. I would have loved to break down film, but I am down for the pivot to callers and to hearing you guys, but most likely not seeing you because, again, I cannot see the screen. So
wow, I'm so sorry that your stream is active. You're not on Safari, are you?
No, I am on Google Chrome. Everything plugged in. I'm running at like 60 upload per second right now, and we're still not working. So
yeah, I don't know what the issue is. That is unfortunate, but the show must go on, ladies and gentlemen.
Must.
First caller today is the Chuck Wagon, who has a question. Hello, Chuck.
Hey, Jake. Thanks. Joe, nice seeing you again. Quick question for you. On the defensive side, do you find there's a position that is not their natural position that they have trouble adjusting to? For example, the last 3 weeks, I think Michael Clemens has been doing very well, but it's because he's been playing defensive tackle. In the beginning of the year, when he was being crushed with how poorly he was playing end. So do you normally see a difference in one position on the defensive side that's harder for a person to not play the natural position, or is it like, say, cornerback playing a safety?
Well, Chuck Wagon, I got some bad news for you. In the middle of all that, we lost Joe. So here's what I can tell you. I can tell you absolutely nothing because I'm not Joe.
I agree. Oh, well.
I can show you Beast eating a booger, though, if you'd prefer that.
I already saw it. Thank you.
What the offense is giving them.
I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
Oh!
No shot. No shots. No shot. That's what I am. That's what I am.
There you go, Chuck. You saw it twice in the same day, and I got good news for you. Joe Blewett is back with us to answer your question. Hey, Joe.
What's going on? I didn't expect to come back to a booger picking then eating clip, but here we are. I'm sorry. I should be good now. I heard Michael Clemens 3 games. I got cut out and booted out.
Sorry, I was saying he's been playing a lot better the last 3 games because he's been more of a defensive tackle. In the beginning of the year, he was being crushed because he was playing defensive end when Germaine Johnson was out. Is there a defensive position that's harder for a person to not play the natural position? Like, say, if it's a defensive tackle, but having to go to end, or a slot corner or corner having to play safety. Is there like a position? Because I think Clemens is obviously more better at tackle. Is there that much of a difference?
Yeah, there's definitely a difference, obviously, from playing inside to outside, different assignments, having to worry about more guys on the interior, bigger bodies, shorter guys, a little bit more powerful. So there's definitely different matchups, and obviously just learning the schematics being on the inside as well. But in terms of like what's the hardest, corner to safety, if you kind of lump those in together, it's definitely going to be the hardest because it's two completely different positions. Where on the interior, the defensive line versus the exterior, there's a lot of the same assignments. It's just a little bit different sometimes how you play them. But for Clemens, I think you're right. You're seeing him rush from the interior more, and I think he's getting some more pressures rushing from the interior because he's taking a little bit of advantage of some of his little bit of the speed he has on some of those interior offensive linemen. So it is nice to see where like he used to be a guy who was unrosterable at this point, but I think at this time he's kind of like as a fourth the end, like you take him, right? I don't think he's been terrible in recent weeks, which for us is a big step up for Clemens because he was so bad. But if he's rosterable, great. That's fine. But yeah, in terms of like the adjustments, corner to safety to corner is going to be the hardest out of the ones you mentioned, and even like being like a will versus a strong side linebacker, the fits are a little bit differently when you're playing on the backside of plays and things like that. D tackle at the end shouldn't be a crazy adjustment though.
If Carter wasn't traded, because Brownlee was playing awesome to start, do you think the Jets would have actually moved him to safety?
Who, Carter or Brownlee?
No, Carter, because he was not playing as well as he should have. Brownlee, when we got him, was playing his butt off. So I didn't know if maybe you think he's still a good player, but see if we need help in safety. Do you think he may have been switched to safety for a little bit?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think I talked to Jake about it on this show was if you can't get rid of Carter and you can't get a pick for him, he played safety at Duke, so why not try him at safety? And I got some people brought up the point of like, hey, well, isn't he a bad tackler? And like, yeah, relatively to safeties, he may not be a good tackler, but I have more confidence in him making a tackle over Tony Adams, right? Like it's not like Tony Adams is like, oh man, how is he going to replace Tony Adams missing tackles? Is he just going to miss tackles as well? So like I would have tried Michael Carter at safety. I like that they took the upside swing on Mechie, but I wouldn't have minded honestly because Carter still being here. I know they saved some money with that, but it's relatively minimal, right?
He was going to be cut, and they were going to be able to save like a ton of money and only get like a $2 million dead cap. I guess the thought process is if you can improve your draft positioning a little bit and get Mechie as a throw-in, now we can evaluate him. But I'm with you. Let's see. Omari with a super chat. He's in the raffle for 2. Says media is always making everything a big deal. Last year was Saleh's too soft. If he doesn't want to name a QB, he doesn't have to. And funny how they didn't ask today about the quarterback. It's not that deep. They didn't ask about the quarterback because Glenn was not going to answer questions about it, and you don't want to do the same charade every day, but not being able to talk about Garrett Wilson's injury because Glenn is annoyed that Rich Cimini was right in his reporting and had it first before the team was able to get it out there. It's just a battle he doesn't need to fight. It really, people love it now. You're not going to love this act if they keep losing, Omari. I'm telling you, if he's doing this act when they finish with 3 or 4 wins this year and next year they start 1-6, you're not going to be, he's giving it to the media. You're going to be like, fire this clown. He's got to go. So he better start winning. Otherwise, people are not going to stand for this. I know how this works. Like you all love it now. If you want to back Glenn, he's giving it to the big bad media. You're not going to win this fight if you don't win. And he's 2-7 right now.
Yeah, and I think in your defense too, for people who are going to be like, oh, well, why are you been talking about it? I think it's a thing where you stream for 4 hours a day, right? So you're going to try to find topics around the Jets and then discuss them because that's what you're paid to do, So
and he makes a story of it too.
I know,
this is a national story. Like I'm looking at all the accounts and different people weighing in on social media, being like, "Who is this guy?" Like, people see this, and it does not paint the Jets in a positive light when the coach acts like this at 2-7.
Yeah, it's a national story. It's not just like, Jets Joe 123 is commenting on it. Like, you have big time media commenting on it. So it is a story, and obviously you're going to discuss it. It's like when I get, oh, well, why aren't you being positive about the game? It's like, because I don't want to have a 4-minute show. Like, I feel like I owe you guys more than 4 minutes on some of these games. So it's like, obviously we're going to discuss it. It's not a huge deal if he wins, but he's making his job unnecessarily hard for absolutely no reason. There's no beneficial factor to what he's doing with the media. Just be a little bit easier on them.
I just hope he wins games, man. That's the big thing.
So do I.
Big fella wants to know if Chuck Wagon is related to Six Rings. Chuck Wagon, please let us know.
I don't know if I know Six Rings. I know Chuck. I don't know Six Rings. I'm still relatively new into the Jake Asman show experience, being on this. So I gotta figure out who that is.
You're not missing much. Don't worry. Cash Money Mike says, looking at the college quarterbacks, it seems like they hold the ball a lot longer than what we need to, and prefer to pick a QB that lets it go with anticipation. I don't see it from Mendoza. He hold the ball. Does Mendoza hold the ball a while?
And by the way, I don't know if at the last second you want to try for me to bring up Simpson. If I can, I can. If I can't, we'll call it. But nonetheless, with Mendoza, I think both him and Simpson can struggle from wanting a little bit too much at times. One of the Simpson plays I was going to show you was the front side of the read. There's a curl wide open, but he knows like backside. He might have his backside, which is like a streak in a seam, and he goes right to the backside, throws the vertical before the corner can close. And it's like, yeah, great play, but you had the front side wide open there. So I think both Simpson and Mendoza can be victim to holding on for the ball a little bit too much because they look for they look for a lot on these plays. But in terms of not having anticipation from either one of these guys, that's not true. They throw with some ridiculous anticipations. Both the throws I showed you I tried to show you of Mendoza were both anticipation throws. Simpson has it, leaps and bounds as well. So they can hold on to the ball, but it's not from lack of anticipation. It's more from them wanting to be aggressive and get 20 yards, 25 yards instead of 5.
Makes sense. More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. This guy was on time for his class today. If he continues to be on time for his classes, he will have free tickets to the Jets and the Falcons game. But until then, you better be on time.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming, he's slamming, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Let's talk about the game on Sunday. So I was actually at this game, Joe. So it was a good Jets win. Our Justin Fields was horrible, but our defense was good, Our defense played really good, Let's get some more guests on the call. I love to argue with other guests. Who's on the line?
You want to argue with people? Who's going to argue with Justin Fields?
I'll say my points. We'll have like a nice little discussion. But who's on the line? Who's on the line?
Well, why do I have to disclose who's on the line?
No, got anyone on the line? Got anyone on the line, Jake?
Look, I could put anyone I want on the line, but that doesn't mean I have to listen to your orders to put people on the show.
You don't have to. I mean, I like to discuss, So good win by the Jets. We play good defense. Justin Fields was horrible. I think we should start Tyrod versus the Patriots if we want to win. That's just my thoughts on it. And then and for my game plan on Thursday, we got to start Tyrod. We got to.
Chuck Wagon's on the line. Chuck, go.
What's up? What's up, Chuck? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can see you. Go ahead, man.
Let's talk about the game on Sunday, Chuck. So I think our defense played really good. I was actually at this game, Chuck.
Billy Noodles is on the line. Go.
Billy Noodles, what's up? How you doing? I was at the game.
What up? Listen,
let's talk about my points. So very good Jets win on Sunday.
PBM is on the line. Go.
PBM, what's up? How you doing? Let's talk about the game on Sunday. Very good Jets win. Our defense played really good.
Black Gypsy's on the line. Go.
Black Gypsy, what's up? How you doing? Let's talk about the game on Sunday. Very good Jets win. Our defense played good. Our offense was not good.
Kyle Clifton's on the line. Go. Or is that Neil?
Kyle Clifton, what's up with you? How you doing? Very good Jets win.
Malachi's on the line. How we doing?
Malachi, who are you?
Yo.
Oh, you're the roommate, Malachi. That's right.
The roommate. How you guys doing?
Let's talk about this win. Let's talk about this win. Good Jets win. Our defense played good.
D's nuts up your ass is on the line. Go.
D's nuts. What's up? How you doing? Very good Jets win. Defense played good, and our offense could have played better. That's just my thoughts.
All right, you good, man?
You
Max?
also at the game?
I'm good. I mean, what? And then for the Patriots game, I think Tyrod should start. We got to run the football with Breece Hall. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yes, run the ball with Breece Hall would be a good strategy. You agree, Joe?
Yes, and score more points than them.
What do you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall?
Thank you, Mad Max. Was that your first Mad Max experience, Joe?
That was my first, a lot of experience. I don't know if I've seen a lot of those people, but yes, that was my first. He went to the game, Tyrod should start this game against the Pats, and the defense played good. I got that a few times.
I'll tell you what, we'll give you one more call because I'm about to debut an intro for this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Gypsy, I'm gonna set all you delusional Jets fans straight. Your takes make me wanna punch you in the face. I'll kick you in the crotch when this team sucks. They suck. I'm like Gypsy. I'm like Gypsy. I'm like Gypsy. I'm like Gypsy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Black Gypsy.
Awesome. That is pure gold. Love that. Love that game. That is awesome. That was funny. So question I have for you, right? I'm on some new shit today. So with the defense that we play, with the personnel that we have, right? Do you think that, because from what I can see and what Glenn and Will said in the press conference when they first got here, is they're trying to run a Tampa 2 defense. All right. Do you think this team can run a Tampa 2 defense with the personnel that we have?
So yeah, they run. I think they run Tampa 3-1 the most. They're not heavy Tampa over those other two, but they run some. They run some Tampa. Obviously, that play that Sherwood had in that in the game against the Bengals, that pass breakup was a Tampa play.
Mm-hmm. It's based on having really good linebackers. So what do you think about Sherwood?
Sure. My thought on Sherwood was he's overpaid from the jump. I kind of agreed with Sabo on that one. I think they were paying him for what they wanted him to be, not for what he is or was currently. He's a guy who is spotty in the run game, really good tackler when he gets his hands on you, but very spotty, guesses too much. And then in coverage, he just covers grass too much. He's got to start relating to guys. He tends to just spot drop and not match guys. So he struggles quite a bit more than you think a linebacker who converted from safety should.
So with that said, right, because I watch a good amount of tape. Do you think Brownlee could swap with Sherwood and play better than Sherwood plays?
In terms of like being a straight up linebacker?
Yeah.
I think
he doesn't have the size, but like on the
Yeah, like, do I think there could be some situations where they sub in, like they're in like a big nickel look and they take out one of the linebackers and get an extra DB in there. And then you have some situations where, like, from a non-traditional Tampa 2 look, you're going to have a like Brownlee rotate in as like that pull runner in that inside third in the Tampa 2. You could have some looks like that, no doubt. Now the size would obviously hurt in the run game at times, but if it's going to be like a 3rd and 10, I don't see why you can't mix some of that stuff in there, especially with, again, like pull runner stuff like that. Cause that's more of like a safeties, corners type responsibility anyway. Linebackers do it, but you have to run to cover a lot of grass.
So the reason why I say it is because I think we should be playing nickel, not 4-3, not Tampa 2, like none of that. I think this defense should, especially on third downs. On third downs, the packages that we use it's a man that normally gets beat. If you notice a lot of third downs, it's a lot of man that they try to switch the zone after out of a 4-3, I think. So like, wouldn't this team be better served out of a nickel or a cover 6?
Well, yeah, and in the Brownlee play too. It was a zone play though. He got beat in the flat there. His eyes got locked in on the running back. It was a quarters coverage. But in terms of like the specifics on third down, I think what they need to do is stop being, and I think they've done this a little bit towards this part of the season, is that they ran so much man on third down. You had a lot of these teams who were just running crossers and trips and bunch formations and all this stuff and running rub routes and again, all these crossers and stuff, and guys were running into each other. So I think they have to be more multiple, where they aren't so predictable on third down, specifically by running too much man coverage on third down. They have changed it up a little bit. So the defense has been more successful, but obviously we just played, Bryce Young in one of those games. We were successful. We just played Dylan Gabriel in one of the games. They were successful. We got shredded up versus the Bengals, but that was more just because of the run game. The pass game has improved, but it needs to, I think Wilkes needs to be more fluent with his schemes.
His play calls, yeah. So for the last, since probably the first game, the same play action in the end zone has beat us to the tight end, like every single time. And on the last one that happened, Brownlee bit on the inside and was late getting back outside to cover. Like how is it that that's scored on us every week, and when we get to the end zone, there's never that thought or adjustment that play is going to be used against us for a DC that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, no, it's been a problem. A lot of the touchdowns this year have been just straight up blown coverage, and again, a lot of it's play action because the linebackers all bite so hard, the slot corners bite so hard as well. But and I've talked to Jake about it. It's hard to know exactly who to fault with that, because if Wilkes is saying don't get outflanked to the slot right there, or to the flat, don't get outflanked to the slot, or to the flat, don't get outflanked to the flat, and then a guy does it, like how do you blame that on the coach? So it's hard to know without actually being there. But with that being said, it was also happening too much where you can't put some blame on him because these guys bite so damn hard on play action. Every
week. All right, my last one. So at the end of the third quarter, because this is my only positive for Fields. I've been shitting on Fields all season. So I'm gonna give him some leeway after the worst game I've ever seen from a quarterback. At the end of the third quarter, Tanner called 5 plays in a row that were option plays. The last one being the pass to Breece to score the touchdown. Like it was option run to Breece, option run from Fields, another inside option run to Breece, and then one of them got blown up, and then they passed the screen pass to Breece in the to get the touchdown. Like that's the only way we're going to use him to be good, because he can't do anything else. That literal last 2 minutes of the third quarter, if you watch that and play that back, of us being on offense, is the best he's looked in running any type of option football or RPO to score a touchdown. Like if we're going to use him, I think that's all we can use him for. Like starting him and doing anything else with him, I think is a waste of time.
Yeah, Jake and I've talked about that too. It's like you're going to take away his one superpower, which is his legs. Why play him at that point, right? Like, and that's why they had such an easy out a few weeks ago when he was playing bad, and then all the stuff about like being tricky in the media. Just say like, hey, he's injured. That's his superpower. We want him to rest up on the bench. So in those games where he's unhealthy as a contusion, like why even play him at that point? So the last 3 weeks, they've been doing more, to me, even more so than like read option. I want like designed quarterback runs, like counters and powers and draws and sweeps, because Fields is good at running the ball. And part of the problem, obviously I agree with you. I want to see more read option stuff, because if he's going to succeed at anything, it is that. But also with that being said, I want to see just more designed quarterback runs, because the problem with Fields is, as we all know, he doesn't process very well. So some of those read options he hands off, and some of them he should clearly hands off. Yeah, so like that's the one problem with him. So I want to see more designed quarterback runs, because if he can't do that, why even play him? Like at that point, he's Zach Wilson, like not exactly, but you get what I'm saying. Like he's just as bad if he can't use his legs. So if they're not going to use him like that, then why play him? Play Tyrod.
Yeah, that's all I had. Love the intro. The intro is awesome.
Oh, you mean this intro?
I'm Black Gypsy. I'm here to set all you delusional Jets fans straight. Your takes make me wanna punch you in the face, or kick you in the crotch. When this team sucks, they suck. I'm Black Gypsy. I'm Black Gypsy. I'm Black Gypsy. I'm Black Gypsy.
Great job, Gator. I had not seen it either. Gator sent it to me in the middle of the show. And he goes, you could use the intro, Black Gypsy's on hold. I go, whoa, I didn't even know we were getting a Black Gypsy intro. Gator never tells me he's making
what constitutes one caller getting an intro or not getting intro? Is there a formula? Is it an amount of calls, or is it an impact on the show type of deal?
I would say impact is definitely the biggest, but I've said to Gator, like, what, because I've asked him the same thing. It's inspiration. Like when he has a good idea for someone, he'll make an intro. Like he's got to be inspired to do it. And he hates when people ask specifically for an intro. You're almost never going to get one if you ask publicly for one, or like plea in the chat for one, right? So he just does it with whenever he's inspired.
Yeah, no, it's a gift he gives you. It's a gift to the show. So many of these edits are great. So shout out to Gator. I think I saw him the other day around in my stream. I don't know if it was actually him or not. So if he's blessing me with his presence in mine, I appreciate it as well. So shout out to you, because dude, I can't even work StreamYard or Microsoft Word. So some of those edits, I don't know how it happens, but kudos to him.
It's unreal. Joe, you were the man. Great breakdown. Godspeed watching this film after Thursday night because I don't have a good feeling about it.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's gonna be a little bit better than you're anticipating. Again, I apologize to the chat. I don't know what was going on with StreamYard. We'll figure it out next time for a quarterback film breakdown. So again, I apologize for that, but it's gonna be okay, Jake. We're gonna win this game somehow, some way, right? If the Dolphins can beat the Bills, we could beat the Pats. So new positive spin going into the latter half of the season. Let's collect some dubs now. Screw the picks. We're gonna find a quarterback regardless. Let's win some games for Glenn.
From your lips to God's ears, ladies and gentlemen, the great Joe Blewett.
All right, here we go, Jake. All right, here we go.
All right, let's get to more of your calls. We spoiled who was on the line for some of them during the Mad Max experience. First, let me shout out Hire John Gruden, who entered the raffle. We got a pretty cool giveaway here. We're switching it up today on the afternoon show. It's a 3D Jet logoed wall art. Put it in your man cave. Put it in your office. Jet logoed. New logo. You win that at the end of the show if you enter the raffle. If you don't win our new top prizes for next week's raffle, raffle 49, signed CJ Mosley helmet, signed LaDainian Tomlinson Jets jersey, LT, and a signed Darrelle Revis helmet is the top prize. Boomtown is in the raffle for one. Shout out to Boom. Joe the Jet says, if the Jets like Mendoza or Simpson, go get your guy. Agreed. Waiting till 2027 is not the right approach. Now, if these guys all go back to school and they cannot get any of them, then sure. But at that point, you better have already done your homework on this and acquired a legitimate veteran quarterback. I'm not doing Justin Fields for another year. All right. I'm not doing it. All right. I will retire from doing the show if the plan is to have Fields be the starter with no legit rookie behind him for 2026. I can't do it. Omari says, I've been a Knicks and Jet fan, not new to this. Last year, we had leaks all year round. Let Glenn run the team. It only becomes a problem when players find it to be a problem, and they haven't. I think I don't know what the Knicks have to do with this. Aaron Glenn has rabbit ears. He cares too much what the media has to say. When he's starting press conferences trying to preempt questions he's going to get about the quarterback, that tells me he cares way too much about the media. For a guy who preaches ignoring the outside noise, he hears everything. It doesn't help the team. And if they continue to lose, these press conferences are only going to get worse because they've been fair to him. It's crazy to me. I'm actually going to show a tweet from Connor Long, who probably summed up today's Glenn versus Cimini situation better than I could. So Connor tweeted this, and I think he's spot on. I typically don't respond to these comments, but I feel like I have to here. Drives me crazy how much people criticize those who cover the Jets, especially when the coverage has been more than fair towards Aaron Glenn. Every reporter in that room has treated him with respect, asked fair questions, and covered this team professionally through a rough season record-wise. How you interpret Glenn's answer to the question about Garrett Wilson's injury is totally up to you, but the question itself was more than fair. Sometimes fans hear a coach's tone and assume it's the media pushing an agenda, when in reality it's a reporter doing their job. If the media doesn't ask who the quarterback is or about Garrett Wilson's status, then you don't get any information, right? Like if ESPN is reporting Garrett Wilson's out 3 to 4 weeks and Glenn's asked about that report and he chooses to not answer it, well, then there's inaccuracies that are out there. Like we as fans want to get information, right? These are the people in the room that get you the information. The media is the conduit to the fans. There was no malicious intent being asked who the starting quarterback is. Or, hey, is Garrett going on IR? Because notice, Glenn didn't deny Rich's report. He's not happy that Rich had it. And if they keep losing, there's going to be more and more leaks because everyone's going to be in cover your ass mode if this gets bad again next year. Wagons Way is in the raffle for one. All right. Back to your calls we go, ladies and gentlemen. Live from Neil's office, we say hello to Kyle Clifton. If I could find his intro, which I have no idea where it is. Found it. All right, here we go.
This show is wild. You really knocked me for a loop before. Like
you never know what's going to happen
of,
on this show.
Yeah, one minute I'm looking at Mad Max's intro and I'm saying, "Wow, Gator is really doing Jake no favor with that AI dancing there. It's very flamboyant." And the next thing I know, my son is tugging at me saying, "Help me with this math problem." He's been homesick or whatever, and he's been doing math worksheets today, whatever. And I go to turn my attention. Next thing I turn back to the phone, I'm on air with Mad Max, and he's a mile a minute. So it was wild, a wild sequence there.
By the way, I just realized this. The chat's all over this. Everyone knew where you were calling from because you were previously on the show with Mad Max, Kyle. So if you really wanted to screw the entire audience over, you could have called from the outside and everyone would have taken a big fat L.
That's right. I wasn't even thinking. That's how much of a loop I got knocked for by that interlude before. Listen, Glenn is driving me crazy with this stuff because he's his own worst enemy. Like, he's going to alienate the fans, and once you lose the fans, you're on your way out the door. Like, people are going to stop coming to the games. They're going to stop paying attention to the team, and that's the last thing that ownership wants. The betting community wants to hear about what's going on with the players. If I'm bringing Clifton Jr. and he loves Garrett Wilson, and I get wind of the fact that he may or may not be hurt, it's going to impact my decision to go. Like this is information that the public wants to consume. Now, he might not like how it's disseminated, but he doesn't really have a say in it. This has been the way things have gone for years and years and years. And, I get that, some of these guys are old media and it's kind of maybe rubbing them the wrong way, but like he has nothing to gain by striking up some sort of quarrel with Rich Cimini, who's been on the beat for 30 years. It makes zero sense. And the people who are cheering it, I just don't get it. Like, when you think about Parcells, he had that adversarial relationship with the media, but he also charmed the pants off him so he'd get away with it. And Belichick, he was winning the entire time, and he knew more than football, and the media members knew it, so they let it go. Glenn doesn't have any of those luxuries. He's not the person with the sense of humor that Parcells is. He's not the football savant that Belichick is. He's Aaron Glenn, and we were told he was going to be him. And so far, it's not great. It's not a great experience.
It's crazy because as you're talking, Kyle, I literally took my headphone off because I saw they were playing a clip on SportsCenter. Literally, the 6 o'clock SportsCenter played the clip that I played at the start of today's show of Glenn being pissy with the media over Rich's report from yesterday. So once again, a guy who says you got to block out the outside noise, all he does is create noise for his team to deal with when he has these rabbit ears and cares so much about what the media says and what they're reporting on. Like, it literally is a topic on SportsCenter right now when it shouldn't be a topic at all. ESPN is not covering Aaron Glenn and the 2-7 Jets doing a Tuesday press conference unless he gives them a reason to, and he did. And this is what I'm talking about. He's his own worst enemy. He's not helping himself with any of these interactions.
Right. And you want to give him grace because he's a rookie head coach, and a lot of guys do grow into the role. But like, if he's calling Parcells for advice on this stuff every week, I mean, Parcells been out of the game for a very long time now. Like, this guy's trying to enjoy his retirement. And like, I don't know if Parcells is giving him the advice. Like, you're getting in your own way. And I think that if he had taken this job 12 years ago, that probably would be the advice that he'd be getting, and it would be good advice. I appreciate your time, Jake.
Kyle, great call. It's just an unnecessary battle, honestly. Like, I don't get being mad at Rich Cimini accurately reporting the timeline on Garrett Wilson. And that doesn't even mean there's a leak in the Jets building. Rich probably got it from Garrett's agent or his manager, someone in his camp. And then when Garrett was asked about it today, you know what he said? Talk to coach. But coach said, talk to Cimini. It's a stupid story that shouldn't be discussed, but it's a national topic. I'm watching ESPN in front of me here. The 6 o'clock SportsCenter just spent 3 minutes talking about it. It's unnecessary. The Jets don't need this stuff. And right now he'll get a pass because he's in his first year and he's not going anywhere. He's 2-7, but you best believe they start 1-5 next year. What do you think the conversation is going to be? And I think the Jets PR team, they're culpable here too. No one says something to him. Hey man, this is not the best approach. If you don't want to say anything about your quarterback, here's how you should word it. Hey, we haven't made a decision yet. I'm going to talk to my staff. We don't want to put it out there. Like, there's just a way to do it where it's not so combative. Like the nonsense the other day. I know who my quarterback is, but I'm not going to tell you. Like, why are you picking fights with these people, man? They've been the guys on the Jets beat have all been fair. They really have. It's the talk shows, people like me, the podcasters that have been extremely critical of this head coach. They got to work with him. They got to be there every day. They have not been as critical as they easily could be. I think Glenn's been horrific. I think he's been dog shit. I'll say it. He's been terrible. I can say that. I'm not there every day. I don't need Aaron Glenn to give me information for my news stories every day in the Post or the Daily News or wherever. Like, it doesn't affect me. Whether he's good or bad, I'm a Jet fan either way. He's going to talk about them on a YouTube channel. It has no impact on me, so I can be honest. I don't need to have a working relationship with Aaron Glenn. They do. So they've been fair with him. But once they realize that he's a goner, when he's not going to be back, right? If he's on the hot seat next year and the signs are pointing towards he's gone, that's when the pitchforks will be out. That's when it will really get nasty. We're not there yet, but they get blown out on Thursday, and he still tries to play this game after that. Then it'll be interesting to see what those interactions are like next week. Philly Noodles is next. What's up, Philly?
What up, man? Yeah, I think we've been echoing that sentiment for like a month and change on that channel. It's like, dude, we don't need an anti-hero. Like, why are you creating enemies that don't exist? Like, you walk in the building and you're just like, you know what? You know, Rich Samiti, I know you're gonna say some shit maybe in the future. So let me just get ahead of it. What are you getting ahead of? I don't understand. And the fact that 1000% they are going soft on him. This is New York media. Like, I think the fact they landed soft on him with the situation is because he's a previous Jet. He had good tenure as a Jet. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, there was a warm welcoming. It's like, who turns a warm welcoming into some shit show? You become like an asshole. Like, it's kind of odd. I mean, I wish it'd go the opposite, but like, I forget that dude, Jaime. Like, what's going on? Like, can somebody do something? Like, hey, dude, we gotta like soften it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, let them, you know, do a little prodding and poking on.
Can I tell you my theory on this?
Yeah.
I won't say who. I was just texting with someone that was in the room today for this latest charade.
Mhm.
I think they're afraid of Glenn, like the PR people, like the team president. I think Glenn is so intimidating that they're also afraid to say anything to him. That's my theory. No one's told me that. I'm just connecting the dots here. Like, that's what I think is happening here.
And don't call it crazy. I think that's, dude, first off, right after the injury, I immediately I was on the phone with somebody. I was like, yo, bro, without a doubt, Garrett needs to get IR'd. It doesn't even matter the situation. Put him on IR. The season's lost. It is what it is. Even if you go on a win streak and you get 7 wins, I don't need Garrett Wilson in surgery mode. You know what I mean? Come off season or during, you know, in the next couple of months. So this could have been forecasted by us as fans. You know that the fucking reporters can forecast that. Rich Samini could have guessed that without even having the intelligence. You know what I mean? Like, you know, underneath the table. So it is what it is. I mean, Glenn, if it could turn into a real PR nightmare completely if it already hasn't. ESPN covering it, like you just said, is effing retarded. I mean, we got our second win, and the story's more about, oh, Garrett Wilson, what happened? Why the fuck is he covering up an injury? Why is he mad at a reporter? You're literally bringing more of a shitstorm. This is what happens when you just have a negative. How the fuck do you have a negative attitude as your first time at a job? It kind of. I mean, I've had jobs where I've gotten and I've hated them, and I knew it, and then I quit at some point. So we know he's not quitting, and we know he's acting like a tyrant for some reason. This can only go further south, and the only cure for that is winning. So he better fucking win.
That's
period, end story.
He gets no benefit of the doubt unless he starts winning right away. I'm telling you, the way the media covered Gase, he got such a runway. You want to know why? Here's a little dirty secret. Adam Gase was buddy with the media. The way Saleh was covered, you want to know why? He was great with that. I mean, I don't need to break any news here. Robert Saleh was texting Joe Beningo. All right. He was doing that with everyone on the beat. Joe wasn't the only person in New York media that Robert Saleh had a buddy-buddy relationship with. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. And I'm not saying Glenn needs to do that because I think that's ridiculous, right? Like, you don't need to be buddy-buddy with Joe B of all people. And I love Joe, but it's like, what are we doing? But you don't need to be an asshole either. Not when you're 2-7. You can't act like Parcells and Belichick when you haven't won anything. Like, he's got these rabbit ears, man. Who cares about, like, who cares about the media asking a question about your quarterback? Why does that bother you so much? Why are you trying to preempt questions on who your quarterback is? It's crazy. This was yesterday.
Other than that, I would say this: please don't ask me anything about the quarterback, because I'm not going to tell you, and I don't want to waste my time when it comes to that. When it comes to who's starting. So, any other questions?
Aaron, after watching the tape, how would you evaluate the way Justin played yesterday?
You know what? Collectively, as an offense, I think we did some good things. The thing is, when you get 2 returns like that on special teams, the offense doesn't have a good amount of plays, especially in the passing game. We only threw 11 passes. I think he was 6 of 11. Obviously, there's some things that we got to clean up there. But there are also some good things that he did. I know he threw the 1 pick. I would say this: I was happy that he tried to force the ball, get the ball downfield in that situation. I thought Cleveland did a hell of a job in that coverage. They ran this inverted 2 where the safety would end up being the middle runner. And I thought they did a good job with that.
Aaron, I'm not going to ask you specifically about who's starting, obviously, because you don't want us to do that. But I am curious, is this like a week-by-week, day-by-day thing for you? Because it is unusual. Having led you guys or helped lead you to 2 wins in a row, is that just the constant evaluation, I guess is what I'm asking?
Well, I keep telling you guys, between the players and myself, we know exactly who's going to be the quarterback. I mean, I just don't have to tell you guys that.
I understand that, but I mean, what goes into that is what I'm asking.
They practice.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just why, man. There's just such a better approach you could take. We're still deciding our quarterback. It's a short week. I'm not going to give New England any advantage. We already know that we're big underdogs. And I'm going to leave that with my team. It's not necessary. It's only going to create more problems. Big dog, solid too nice, AG too mean. You just can be respectful. You don't need to try and have a combative relationship. The media is not out to get him, right? I think I read the Andrew Marchand tweet on this, right? Like, the media is asking him questions. They're not questioning him, Like, he looks at it like it's an attack on him, these questions, and it's not. Huge super chat from the Kyle Clifton. I meant to say thanks for the Corbett helmet. My kids clued me into the win after the fact. Irvin Fryer showers with his mom. Go Jets. Irving Fryer, is that a guy in the chat? Kyle, it wasn't a helmet. It was a signed Wayne Corbett football. But either way, you might get it by tomorrow because I sent it out today. Congrats on winning your raffle prize. You deserve it. And Kyle, by the way, is now in our raffle at the end of this show. For 10, we're giving away this piece of glory. Jets 3D logo wall art. It's a really nice piece. I think whoever wins it will proudly display it. Stone Cold writes in, Jake, do you think AG's comments could have been outwardly towards Samini, but also indirectly towards Jets internals? Take me back to Aaron Rodgers' comments on McAfee about the Jets organization keeping things internal. Well, so Rodgers' comments were not about things internal, but they were about how there's too many leaks. I don't think Rich got the story from someone with the Jets. I think he got it from someone in Garrett Wilson's agency. That's typically how this works. It's just it's a battle he cannot win, and he's going to want to fight it every single day. I'm telling you, the media has been nice to him so far. They're going to get nasty, and this is how it's going to go. But if he wins, nobody will care. I get it, but he's not winning right now, and he's making his job harder to win. If there's more distractions, the team's going to be asked questions about. Gary Myers, right? He's not on the Jet beat, but he tweeted this today. Aaron Glenn won't say his quarterback is, so why should reporters expect him to be forthcoming on injuries? That leads to good reporters finding out solid info on their own and going with it. Then Glenn pulls this small town stuff. He's trying to control everything. Wrong market. This is New York. And whether you agree or disagree with that, this is the story. Trey says he just won the last 2 games. Shut up, Jake. You want a cookie for beating the Bengals defense and the Browns? Really? We're going to celebrate that? How about they beat the Patriots? Then I'll say, you know what? He could give Brian Costello a wedgie Thursday night if they beat the Pats. And I'll say that was the right move. He deserved it. All right? He could, you know, do whatever he wants to anyone if they beat the Pats on Thursday. Well, come on, man. Really? Bar's pretty low if we're cruel with all this. Like, what are we doing? Jersey Jet says you'll move the goalpost again. You think I'll move the goalpost if the Jets go into Foxborough and beat the Patriots as 11.5-point underdogs? I love it. I love it. You are a fool, Jersey Jet. Are we going to act like a win over the Cleveland Browns means anything big picture? That we've now turned it around? This coach has proven that he's for real? Really? They won a game against Cleveland because Dylan Gabriel is horrific and the Jets special teams scored twice. That's not sustainable. Their quarterback, if you remove the Breece Hall screen pass, had 12 yards passing. He completed 2 passes in front of the line of scrimmage. Really? Jeez, guys. Take the win. You don't complain. A win's a win, but he hasn't proven anything. I will not move the goalpost on Glenn if he beats the Patriots. I'd be ecstatic. We'll love it. It'd be awesome. Super chat from Peter Storrs. He's in the raffle for 5. Listen, I don't care if he acts like bleep up there if he wins games. Truth is, the team is looking better aside from Fields. They're being coached. We could have lost the last 2. Sure. How low is your bar, though? Did you think this team was going to be the worst team in football? I didn't. Like, that's the thing, people. Yeah, they won 2 straight games. Did we think they were going to go 0-17? Like, remember what you thought about this team going into the year when this is the head coach who said this in February.
We're here to win now, and we're looking forward to it. So any questions?
And then they're going to let Fields play quarterback because he's never been coached properly and all the other stuff. They're 2-7, man. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to a man who has an intro that I can't find. But guess what? I found it.
Purple belt Mike, he loves the dark night. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Yo, the most important thing for this team is to get a quarterback. So, I have an idea that maybe the Jets can do. Since Brian Dable was fired, you can offer him a position. I don't know if it's VP of personnel or whatever, but if he can solve the quarterback riddle, how he got Buffalo Josh Allen, how he got the Giants Jackson Dart, if he can find our guy, he would be known as the greatest evaluator of quarterbacks ever. We've been trying to find a franchise quarterback for 50 years, 50 plus years. So
well, I don't know if he found. I don't think he gets credit for finding Josh Allen. I mean, he gets credit for
apparently
Allen's development. Sure.
Apparently, he was screaming in the draft room, is what they said. So I don't know if it was more. Apparently, it was more him than McDermott to trade up to get him.
I think it was more the GM than anything. It's Brandon Beane.
I don't know. That's what they were talking about today on the morning show.
Yeah, I mean, look.
So, and they're saying the same thing with Jackson Dart. They said it wasn't Joe Shane. They said it was Brian Dable screaming, saying, "I want this guy," and forced the trade up. He let Shane manipulate the trade, but he was saying that that's who he wanted. So if he can identify these guys and he can show that he can identify quarterbacks, then he's not going to be coaching next year. Maybe he does the Vrabel, takes a year.
Have you thought about putting a light on PBM? I'm talking about black
sitting in the
Fashanu here.
dark. Yeah. So I think maybe we can offer that to him if he's not going to get a coaching job. Maybe he can help us. He doesn't have to move. There's a lot of benefits there. He can get paid a lot of money. So
I don't think he would take any job that's not a coordinator job. And there's so many jobs in college open. He could be a head coach in college if he wanted to. He spent a lot of time in college at Alabama with Saban.
you could offer it to him like, hey, man, you could have the title as the best evaluator of quarterbacks ever.
And I don't think it works that way. If he wanted to be a quarterback coach, I'm in. I don't think he will. I think he's gonna end up going back to college. If I had to guess, he'll be an OC somewhere. Maybe he replaces Joe Brady back in Buffalo. Brady gets a head coaching job.
And maybe Brady goes to Giants because Joe Shane is staying. I don't know. But I don't know. I want to get the quarterback right by any means necessary.
I agree with your premise, though. They do need to add people to the offensive staff that can help with the development of the quarterback position. Like the Jets QB coach is Charles London. He's a running backs coach previously. What does he know about quarterback play?
Yeah, we need quarterback. Can't have the guy messed up. You need the people around him coaching him right. And if he's not ready, then you don't force him in there. Like Zach Wilson wasn't ready. He shouldn't have started. Like we can't do the same mistakes. We have to learn from our previous mistakes.
I agree. I think they need to. It's such a crapshoot anyway that even if they bring in the best QB people, we might not know for sure. It's hard.
Yeah, and who knows if they
you think
like
you think Kyle Shanahan's a great offensive coach?
I know, and he looked at Trey Lance as the guy.
And guess what? He got lucky that they also took Brock Purdy as a 7th round Mr. Irrelevant pick. So that's the best offensive guy. You know, what's his name? Kevin O'Connell had Sam Darnold as his quarterback, and they chose to let him go and stick with JJ McCarthy, who's been up and down. You know, we don't know. They also had Daniel Jones in that building too.
2020 was also like a weird year because of COVID. It was hard to evaluate because they didn't have the full college. So I kind of think that threw everybody off too. That was kind of like a weird year. But yeah, I agree. So let's just get the guys in here, identify the quarterback because the coach is going nowhere. And I don't believe he can evaluate the quarterback because we have Justin Fields. We said it a million times. So we just need someone that can focus on his development and picking the right guy, or if you need multiple people, but that's the number one thing.
Agreed. Mike, go Islanders. Hell of a win. Matt Barzell for life.
Hell yeah. Let's shake that safety taffy, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Super chats, cut the line if you want to win this wall art. Make sure you enter home stretch of calls here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not every day that this fantastic human being is on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mikey Midnight.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise. Hi, Jake. How you doing? You hear me?
Mikey!
I'm in the hospital. I'm in the hospital. No, I was admitted in the hospital with the heart thing.
Everything okay,
and
Mikey?
I had pneumonia again, too. I should be out by Thursday or something. Because they go give me the procedure in Brattleboro and Keene again.
Well, I hope everything's okay, Mikey. That's scary stuff. Yeah. We need you to get better.
Yeah, and the Jets won 2 in a row, 9 more wins, 8 more wins. They come 10-7.
Hey, you were the first to say it, and I'll get you get to take over and host the show for the rest. Whenever you want to host it, you get to host the show if they finish 10-7. All right.
I remember the Joe Burrow. The Jets might get Joe Burrow.
You want Joe Burrow?
Yeah, he's good.
He's pretty good. I agree.
And what about Murray, the guy from Arizona?
I don't really want Kyler. I don't want him. He gets hurt all the time, and he's not as good as Burrow.
Yeah, imagine if they only trade for this #1 draft pick for next year.
The Jets might have to trade up to get their quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, I'm on Mendoza. Mendoza is cool. You like Mendoza?
Fernando Mendoza. I do.
Yeah, that's a New York name right there.
Oh, yeah.
He was short 100 touchdown passes
in its first year.
That'd be an NFL record.
Yeah, I love that. I like to see that,
Me too.
So I wanted to tell you what's going on to everybody, and then our friend Raheem says hi.
Tell Raheem I say hello.
Yeah, I promise. And Bobby's at home healing up.
He's out of the hospital, and you're in the hospital. You guys traded places.
Yeah, that's what the nurses said. Trading places like the TV show.
That's right.
Yeah,
I hope you feel better, Mike. All right, keep us posted, okay?
Yeah, my dad's gonna take care of my cat, Vita. Yeah.
That's great. All right. Give us a call when you get out of the hospital, all right?
All right. Take care, brother.
You got it, Mikey. Be better.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise.
This show will be renamed the Mikey Midnight Experience if the Jets finish 10-7. Mikey can host whenever he feels like it. I'll fill in whenever he doesn't feel like doing the show. Those are the rules. Eli bets in the raffle for 5. He has a chance to win the Jet logoed 3D wall art that we're giving away today.
You tell me how crazy I am. I just took 4 chair headshots.
Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes when you talk to this guy, some in the chat have described it as doing something similar to what Beastbreaker just did. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to the great Gary.
He's pointing. Garrett Box point at you. Garrett Box point at you. Garrett Box. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Garrett Box point at you. I point.
What's up, Jake? How are you?
Hello, Gary.
What? Mikey's in the hospital now? I thought he was just visiting. He's in the hospital, like he was admitted into the hospital, like he's not well.
That was the first I had heard of it as well. I did not know that.
That's not good at all. All right. Hope all. Does anyone know like why? Like, is it?
He said he had pneumonia.
Oh, that's not good. All right. Well, shout out Mikey. Prayers for Mikey Midnight. Hope that gets better. He seems okay. He seems like he has energy. He seems good.
He seemed like he was normal Mikey, so that was encouraging.
Yeah, for sure. So a couple of things. First, this Glenn thing, maybe, and I know this from personal experience, maybe he's just a combative person. Like, he doesn't like the media. I don't need the media to like me. I don't like them. And this is how I'm going to talk to him. Things aren't going well. I don't like you. I don't need you to do my job. I am required to do this. And this is how I'm going to talk to you.
But were the questions unfair? Like, there's
the questions are fine. I don't know why he doesn't.
There's like professional decorum you're supposed to have if you're the head coach of an NFL team. Like why create an issue that's being covered nationally on SportsCenter tonight if you don't have to? Yeah, and like Glenn was a feisty player. He's combative. That's his personality. But like, yes, there's a time and place for that. The questions aren't unfair. Like the reason why the media asks these questions is so accurate information can be reported on. If the media didn't follow up on Samini's report, then okay, we're led to believe that it's true. And if you don't come out and say it's not true, then guess what? We're going to go with Rich Samini's story that Garrett Wilson's out 3 to 4 weeks. That was your opportunity to clarify it and not do well, go ask Rich because he seems to have all the answers about injuries. Like, come on, dude.
I'm with you. The questions aren't unfair. I've sat through a lot of press conferences in boxing, and I've heard a lot of reporters ask a lot of dumb questions, right? A lot of dumb questions. There was a boxer from Houston, Jamal Charlo, who would show up to the press conference an hour and a half late because Showtime made him show up. I was contractually obligated to do it, and he'd be obligated to answer 5 questions. He'd answer exactly 5 questions, give you a yes or no answer, and then leave the press conference. He'd do it every time, right? Like, I don't like talking to you. Glenn is obligated to talk to you, but he's not obligated to give you any answer that any specific answer. He can say whatever he wants, which is what he's doing. But like, to your point, I don't really think the questions are bad or unfair. Like, they're not traps. They're pretty basic questions. right?
He cares so much about these questions that once again he led his press conference yesterday being like, "Don't ask me about the quarterback." Like, dude, if you're asked about the quarterback, just say we are going to not name a starter again because we are going to decide when we get closer to game time. He doesn't need to be like, "I know who the quarterback is, but I'm not telling you guys. My team knows. I don't need to tell you guys that." It's like you're picking a fight for no reason. They're not coming after you. They're asking a basic question that every other team in the league, their coach gets asked the same thing.
I like to be a villain to some degree, right? I like a fight. Clearly, right? Clearly. Maybe Glenn is that guy. I don't know him personally, but like you said, he was a super feisty player, little guy, probably wasn't overly recruited, probably was overlooked a bit, because he's undersized.
I mean,
maybe
he just
has
pick.
a constant chip.
He was a top 10 pick in the draft. He wasn't
top 10?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. He's got clearly, I'm not imagining this, right? He's got a chip on his shoulder, right? Like he feels like it's him against the world. I'm not imagining that, right? Like he's a chip.
So he was the 12th overall pick in the draft. So he was basically a top 10 pick.
That much, yeah. I didn't even realize he was taken that high. Gary, take your victory lap on May. It speaks for. I told you you did not want him to go to the Patriots. You wanted Washington to draft him, and they didn't. And then shout out Amanda too. I saw you say hi. Hi, Amanda. How are you? Hope all is well. But that was, and then the other thing I had was, it's like I'm not justifying Glenn. I'm just maybe trying to explain why he gives these kind of answers. Like maybe he likes being the villain. Maybe he likes it. Like maybe he likes to fight. Why is he making his life tougher? Because he likes to fight. I don't know. I like to fight. I would give him snide answers too, but those questions seem reasonable. Like they weren't bad questions. The other thing is Mendoza. Like you guys you want to trade up for him? Did he blow your socks off again last week against Penn State? And if he didn't, give me the game where you watched Mendoza and you said, that's the one right there. I got to have him first pick in the draft. Which game are we talking about?
Are you asking me or?
You, but them in general. Like the chat and everyone, the Mendoza crowd, the Mendoza stands, that we have to get Mendoza. And I'm not against it. I'm against trading up for him.
Depends what I have to trade up to get him.
Another one. Next year's one. One of next year's ones.
Where am I picking though?
3, let's say. 3, and then next year's one.
Is Ty Simpson an option?
No, 1 and 2 are gone, and Ty Simpson's available. Let's say Ty Simpson's available.
Then I wouldn't trade up. I would just take Ty Simpson. But if I evaluate these quarterbacks and I have Mendoza and Simpson as the only ones worth a top 10 pick, then I would trade one of my 3 ones in 27 to make that deal. Yes, I need to get a quarterback. It all depends on value and what I'm giving up.
I do agree with you that we can't go with Justin Fields again next year. I don't want to go with the rest of this year. And I bought his jersey. I wanted to be his biggest fan. It didn't work out. I don't have a better answer. Someone asked me in the chat, what should we do at quarterback? I don't know right now. I love Kyler Murray, Texas legend. Shout out Allen High School. But I'm not paying him $40 million. So does Arizona want to eat a bunch of that? Because then we can talk, but I don't think they would. Like, I don't know. I don't have any answers for you guys for next year at quarterback. I don't want to trade up for Mendoza or Simpson though. If they fall to us, or we get 1 or 2, or they fall to us at 3, let's talk about it. But I'm not trading picks next year. The Jets have a deficit of everything. Like they're not really good anywhere other than offensive line. Like, so just take the best player available because it's a position of need. Whatever position it is, it's a position of need.
I mean, there's certain picks that you got to value in the first round. Like I'm not taking a safety in the top 10.
Well, we're drafting, you would imagine, in the top 5, right?
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
all right. I don't think any safeties are projected to go in the top 5. You know what I'm saying?
From Ohio State.
Okay.
Downs, right? Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
Isn't he
top 5? I haven't looked at mocks yet. Is he projected?
I know they have the pass
5?
rusher, Averill, right? And then they have Cornell Tate, who's another receiver. He's probably not a top 10 guy, but he's a first round projection.
Yeah, okay. I'm not taking a safety in the top 5 either. But like Jeremiah Love, if he fell to you at 5, all right, I would consider
a
it.
running back.
Yeah, Like you guys keep saying this.
You want to
right?
take a
But,
running back in the top? Just pay Breece Hall and keep him.
Well, let's keep both of them. Breece Hall.
I'm not drafting a running back in the top 5 if I'm keeping Breece and I still have Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis under contract. That'd be a terrible use of resources.
Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis, who I like, they don't really
Even
get
still,
a say on who.
how does that help the Jets?
But this is like Net fans saying, "Oh, we can't take Peterson because we have Cam Thomas." Like, stop. If Peterson's available, I'm gonna take Peterson. Right?
I'm not taking a running back in the top 5. I'm trading out. I'm trading out before I would ever take a running
All
back.
right, that's an option too. I'd be okay with trading out. I'd be okay with that. But what I'm saying is, like, Genty's not really great, but like, if Genty would have fell us last year, would that really be the end of the world? Like, you have a 2-headed horse in the backfield, and you like to run the ball, so run the ball with both these guys.
Genty
like,
would have been
try something.
That would have been.
I know he's not great.
He hasn't been great, and Membu's been a stud. He's been great.
I'm not saying they made the wrong pick. Genty was gone. Genty went right before Membu, if you remember.
Correct.
Right. I'm not saying that they should have. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if they would have taken him, it really wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. I'm glad they have Membu. I'm just saying, like, taking Genty wouldn't have been terrible.
I think it would have been. I think it would have been terrible because let's say he's there. Well, look at Warren and look at what's his name, Loveland. They both have been really good too. So we would have taken of the 3 other options. We would have got the worst if we took Genty.
Yeah. I think we ended up making the right pick. I think if you redrafted it and Membu fell us again, we would take him again. I'm just saying, like, there's more. Like, I'm not. It's take the best player available, whatever that player is. Like, unless it's
with position context having to be applied when you're talking about that level of a resource.
I'm not letting Isaiah Davis or Braylon Allen decide who I pick.
But if you're keeping Breece Hall, you then can't double down on taking a running back in the top 5. That makes no sense.
If he's that good, like, running backs have a very short shelf life. Do we agree on that?
So why are we using a top 5 pick on them?
Because they're going to play out their rookie contract. You're going to have them for 4 years.
Yeah, but it's a top 5 pick.
Do you think if we had Love and
you have so many other needs, or you receiver, pass rusher, defensive tackle, corner, a receiver again, like these are premium position picks you make in the top 5. Quarterback, obviously, but in this scenario, we're not taking the quarterback.
Right. I'm saying there's no quarterbacks available. What I'm saying is I don't want to get tied into a position saying we need a pass rusher or we need a cornerback.
I agree with the strategy of you obviously don't reach and you look towards BPA, but there needs to be context applied to it. Best player available doesn't always apply to your football team, depending on what you have on your roster currently.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't take a tackle because we've taken a tackle the last 2 years in the top 10 or I guess 11, right? I probably wouldn't take a tackle. But other than that, any other position, if I think this is definitely the best player available, I'm probably going to take him. I wouldn't. I'm just, my point is I don't want to get tied into into one position. Like, we need to have a pass rusher. What if the best player available is a linebacker? Would you take him?
Okay, you strongly consider it.
All right.
But a running back I can't do. I have certain rules, and one of them is not taking a running back in the top 10.
Do you think they regret taking Bijan or Saquon in the top 10?
The Giants do regret taking Saquon in the top 10. Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what they should have done? They should have taken Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Is Saquon on the Giants right now?
No, he signed with Philly. He wanted to go to
they
Philly.
let him go. That's what I'm saying.
No, they made him a legitimate offer. He just chose to go to Philly. Like, you can rewind history. They made him a real offer.
He got way more money from Philly. Way more.
He got an extra year. It wasn't like the Giants' offer wasn't good. The Giants made him a very good offer.
He got an extra year. That's another $12 million a year.
No, I'm with you, but I'm just saying, do you want to keep a running back tied up till he's 30, 31 years old? It's a risky play.
He wouldn't have been tied up for that long, and he helped the Eagles win a Super Bowl.
He's a great player. You're making my argument now that it was a good pick by the Giants when they picked him. You're making my argument.
I'm arguing with you that, they made them this great offer. They really didn't. The Eagles made a better offer.
But okay, the Giants made him a legitimate offer. The Giants weren't looking to underpay.
Either way,
they weren't.
Your first question was, do the Giants regret drafting him at 2 in the first place? And absolutely they do. They drafted Saquon to try and make another run with Eli, who was already washed at that point. But part of the reason for hiring Dave Gettleman, who had previously been in the Giants organization, was let's win one more for Eli, and it was a huge mistake.
Yeah, David Aaron here is making my point. Gary saying the Giants did low ball Philly just made a better offer. That's kind of how I felt about that. I think the Giants wanted to keep him, and just Philly knocked the socks off is kind of what happened.
Either way, the Jets aren't taking a running back in the top 5, so we don't need to worry about it.
Okay. If they do, just like if they would have gotten Genty, I won't be upset about it. I don't think it's a bad pick if they do. That was my point.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
Spencer Green, wall art is cool. Well, Spencer, you got 2 raffle tickets with that super chat. Nate says he was mad Rich leaked info that would potentially hurt his team, and he likes to reveal minimum about injuries. He made it clear if you leak info, he will alienate you, the media, and make your job tough. I mean, I think he's pissed that Rich accurately reported on the injury. I think that's what happened. Doesn't hurt his team. I think it's a bad look. I mean, you could defend it if you want, Nate. That's fine. I think it's an unnecessary thing he did today. Because, does he think Rich is now not going to report on the team? He's not going to go dig for stories? It's only going to incentivize him to do it more often. And he's 2-7. If you're 7-2, no one cares. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Gator McCluskey. Hey now. Hello, Gator.
Yo, what are you doing?
Do you want to talk?
Sometimes Gary just needs to go to the hole. I mean, anytime you suggest taking a running back with the first pick with the state of the Jets right now, when we still have Breece Hall, I mean, that's just hole worthy to me. And I like Gary's takes, but only his boxing takes. Because it seems lately all he wants to do is argue. It's let me come up with something that no one else will agree with and try to hold my point and then create some friction of some kind of argument. And it just, I don't know. It just seems like he doesn't ever call in with reasonable, valid points anymore. I know he's capable of that. I've heard him do it. Anyway, that's not why I called. I called to tell you something that you already know. Is that Thursday night, we have everything possible working against us. We've got the hottest team in football. We're on the road on a short week. We've got a team that is minus, and I'm going to say minus, even though they're not with the team anymore, Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, Garrett Wilson. Who else am I missing that we're not going to have for this game? Oh, and we have the worst quarterback possibly in the whole NFL in terms of someone that can throw the ball and someone catch the ball. This could be the most lopsided loss in the history of the Jets. I mean, I don't even know why we should even show up to this game. I know there's a lot of people that are if we win this game, it's going to be this or that. I'll tell you, if we win this game, I think you put Glenn on Mount Rushmore because he's got absolutely no ability, tools, nothing to compete with this team Thursday night. It's going to be an absolute shit show. So I'm not looking forward to it. We're going to get embarrassed on national television again. Hope I'm wrong, but man, it's going to be ugly. Sorry.
Tough to argue with that. I think this could be a nightmare. Honestly, I could see them getting killed. Man,
I mean, the Patriots are hitting on all cylinders. You watch them; they are just they're
well coached.
They're
well
top
coached.
5 team. Yeah,
they got a great OC. Vrabel is Vrabel. The quarterback is playing with such confidence right now. Is only getting better now that it's clicked for him. Yeah, it's a tough spot. You're on the road, short week. You already said the guys that aren't going to be out there. Look, we didn't think Fields was going to play the way he did against the Bengals. I get it. The Bengals defense is terrible. New England's defense is not great. They're in the 20s, but
all they have to do is stop Breece, right?
Pretty much. I mean, how many points realistically are the Jets going to score? If New England could get to 20 points, that's probably enough to win.
6.
Maybe. Honestly, I don't know.
6.
It's tough, man. Look, if they win, and you won't hear me complain about Aaron Glenn for a very long time if this team actually wins. But
no, I mean they win, and then all of a sudden next week's show is we're going to make a run at the playoffs. I mean that's what everybody's saying, right? We're supposedly we're only like 2 or 3 games out of the wild card, right? I mean, isn't that crazy?
If we win, we're lurking. So I'm excited about that.
Oh yeah,
we're the Jets in the lurking category.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it will be a minor miracle. And yeah, and I'm just gonna sound like a parrot, but fuck Aaron Glenn, man. He's got to stop this shit. It's really pissing me off. I mean, I didn't love him going into the season, and every single time that man opens his mouth, I like him less. And I shouldn't feel that way about the coach of the team that I love, the team that I live for, the team that I've got. Every stitch of clothing I own has got something with a Jet logo on it. I shouldn't feel this way. And he makes me absolutely hate the state of the Jets right now. So I really wish he would snap out of it. Someone would talk to him and cut the shit, because he's so unlikable. And that's something I've never experienced. I mean, at least Gase, Kotite, I mean, I almost felt sorry for these guys, you know, like, yeah, they sucked, but like, they weren't hard. They weren't like douchebags, you know? I mean, I'm trying to remember the last douchebag coach for the Jets. I don't even remember one. This is unreal.
Yeah, I mean, I think he comes across as very unlikable. I agree with you. If he wins, I don't think we would care. Like, I don't care who the coach is or how they act if they were winning. But I think when you continue to play this game and you lose, and it's not even that they're losing, he's been the reason why they've lost, and how we acted in the off season and in training camp. And then where I lost my shit on Glenn for the first time this year is when he had the balls after you and I melted together in Tampa watching that shit show, saying they're not the same old Jets when they were 0-3. That drove me crazy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Excuse my language, but 2.5 hours in, I don't give a crap anymore. What the hell are you talking about saying you're not the same old Jets? How would you know? All right. You were in Detroit the last couple of years. This is the same old Jets, only it's actually worse. You're not the same old Jets because you had a fake comeback against Todd Bowles, who did everything possible to hand you that game against a Bucs team missing 4 of their 5 offensive linemen and no Mike Evans. And you're going to try and tell us you're not the same old Jets after you lost that game. That's where I was just like, really? And then they followed that up completely no-showing the Dolphins game on Monday night. And that's where I'm just like, this guy has no clue. It's been a little better late, but look at the opponents. Like, I got to see real improvement Thursday night. And I agree with you. It's going to be tough sledding, man. I have a terrible feeling. I hope I'm wrong, but I think this could be another, classic Jet national embarrassment spot.
Yeah. And I mean, I tried to compare it to like, oh, maybe we could do what Miami did to Buffalo. But the more I think about that, Miami does have the capability of scoring a lot of points, and when Tua can put it together, and he's got Waddle, and, he does have some weapons, and A-Chain is a monster. Like, you can actually see, okay, on a good day, they can put up some points. And if, if Josh Allen goes into that interception mode, they could win a game. And, but yeah, Thursday night, the Jets have absolutely nothing as long as New England just shuts down Breece Hall, because there's nothing else. So it's just going to be so ugly. I hate this team.
We hate them because we love them. And I don't know, man. Hang in there, Gator. I'll tell you what. I'll play you out the way I know you'd want to be played out.
You tell me how crazy I am. I just took 4 chair headshots.
Mad Max in the raffle for 1. Mad Max, you sicko. All right, a couple calls left here. JJ is on the line. What will we argue about today? JJ, hello.
Yo, man, I'm not going to lie, man. I'm starting to like Aaron Glenn. He's starting to grow on me. So I said it. I'm going to tell you why. At the end of the day, he's the head coach of this football team, and he set the tone, whether we like the tone that he set or not. He set a tone that he doesn't want information leaving the building, and someone did something that he didn't like, and so he's reacting to it, and he's showing true emotion. And I think at the end of the day, whether we agree with the emotion that he's showing, it's nice to see someone with the chains unhinged, if that makes sense. Like someone who just is speaking his mind and doing things the way he feels best. Now, will it piss people off? Will it give him any friends in the media? No. But he's saying, hey, listen, I don't need friends in the media.
Call in literally yesterday and say that if he loses another game, you're out on him?
Yes, but he's starting to grow on me. That two things could be true. Do I think he's the head coach for this team that we need at this moment? No. But is his personality starting to grow on me? Those are two separate things. His coaching ability and his personality are two separate things.
Yeah,
and when
but
I'm looking,
I don't care about his personality. I care about his coaching ability. That matters more than anything else.
yes. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. I already said multiple times that I want Aaron Glenn fired at the end of the season. I don't know what else you want me to say. I also am on record saying the only way he should be allowed to keep his job is if he wins out because of how bad of a performance he's put up to this point. So now all I'm saying is his personality is starting to grow on me. If I have to repeat every single negative thing about Aaron Glenn every time I call him the show, I mean, what's the point? I want to be able to talk about new things. And as of right now, I feel like, hey, listen, his personality is starting to grow on me because he's consistently himself. He's consistently an asshole every week at every press conference, whether it's justified or not. I don't even think this one was justified. I just like the fact that no matter what, he's not wavering on how he feels, and he's staying the same week after week after week.
You want him fired, but he's growing on you. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it makes sense. I want the guy fired. I don't think he's a good head coach, but I like his personality. It's kind of the same way that
great. I like Robert Saleh's personality. I think he was a great guy. I don't think he was a great head coach.
Yes, we agree on that. So what? We already know that JJ feels like he should be fired. Can I just say, can I give the guy a compliment? Like, I don't get it. Just because I don't think he's a good head coach doesn't mean I can't talk. It's like if I talk about Rex Ryan. Yo, I love me some Rex Ryan. Would I ever want him to coach my football team? No. We already know Aaron Glenn, as of now, is a terrible head coach. I'm saying.
But we're I analyze the Jets, right?
Hmm?
Like, and don't care about Aaron Glenn being a good guy or not. Like, that's not relevant to my criticism of him as a coach. Like, he might be a wonderful guy. I've heard from people Adam Gase was the nicest guy. I'll give you a great Gase story. One of my friends knew Adam Gase well. Gase lived in the same neighborhood as him. Adam Gase and his wife would write a lofty donation check to the local high school football program his 2 years with the Jets. All right. Like, I've heard great things about Gase. I don't care about that. We're judging them based on if they're a good coach or not. So you saying you want Glenn fired, but his personality is growing on you. Who cares if you like his personality or not? Do you think he's a good head coach? That's what we're talking about.
Well, I thought that, when I call in the show, I get to just kind of give an opinion and just voice how I feel for the day. I didn't know that every time I call in the show, I have to, slam dunk on how bad this guy is as a head coach. I mean,
you don't have to do that either. But
the part about all this is I was literally the first person to call into the show and say I want him fired. And everybody was like, oh my God, JJ, it's only been 2 games. You got to relax. And I'm like, nah, I've seen enough. I know he sucks. He's not going to be a head coach. It is what it is. But I have to find some level of enjoyment when I'm watching this team or listening to his press conference. All I'm saying is Rex Ryan was a terrible head coach at the last 4 years, but we can talk about Rex Ryan's personality and say he had a cool personality. I don't think Aaron Glenn is
He won. We won 4 playoff games in 2 years.
Yes. Okay. Now, at the end of his regime, he was a terrible head coach. It is what it is. Not terrible. I won't say Rex Ryan was a terrible head coach, but he was a below average head coach. And then he went to Buffalo and he was a below average head coach there too.
Guys get fired. Usually it doesn't ever end well for most guys. But that doesn't mean that it's not the same thing. Aaron Glenn has done nothing. He hasn't built up any equity with the fans as a coach. Obviously, he was a great Jet, but we're judging him on him as a head coach. He's done a bad job so far. You yourself, you said you want him fired.
Yes, and I still want him fired, but I'm just saying his personality is growing on me. Like it's entertaining to watch him up there and be
I'm
like,
glad you're entertained then. I'm happy for you.
Okay, think about it, Jake. He went up there. He said, "Don't ask me any questions."
Why don't we do this? We'll get next call. You get some popcorn. I'll make some popcorn here. We'll play an entire Aaron Glenn presser together, and we'll do a watch along.
Wait, because you got me on a tangent about this thing, and this is not even why I called in. All I'm saying is, even though I think he should still be fired unless he wins out, the guy's kind of entertaining. He literally went up there and said, "Ask Rich Cimini." Rich Cimini's not here, Mr. Aaron Glenn. Okay, well, text him. You got his number. That's funny. It's kind of funny. It's a jerk thing to do. It's a dick thing to do, but it's kind of funny. But this is the real reason I called in. So when I was thinking about
the real reason, great.
Yes, when I was thinking about it, and I think you guys touched on this, there are a lot of quarterbacks who are now their draft stock is starting to climb, like the Ty Simpsons of the world and the what's this guy's name that you guys love, Mendozas of the world, right? In my opinion, we don't know for sure, right, who's coming out of college. And let's just say, hypothetically speaking, Ty Simpson doesn't come out. Mendoza does come out, but Ty Simpson doesn't come out. Archie Manning doesn't come out. The guy in Oregon, Dante Moore, who I'm really starting to like, the more I watch him, doesn't come out. I don't think we should draft a quarterback just because Mendoza's there, because I really don't feel that Mendoza's that good. I think he's just a product of his team. I mean, he could probably be a solid NFL starter, but I just don't see it yet. But there is a possibility where we do wait in 2027 and draft a quarterback then. And next year, we just keep building a team, a solid foundation for when that quarterback comes in. We have it ready for him to just hop in and go. And if that's the case, I think that we do have to consider Kyler Murray. Obviously, I know.
Opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall.
JJ, can you hear me?
Yes, what's up, man?
What's up? Let's argue about Glenn. So, you like Glenn so far. I mean, give him credit. We won the last 2 games, but let's be honest. We beat the lowly Bengals. Their defense is horrible. And then we beat the Browns. Aaron Glenn, Aaron Glenn's gonna.
Let me ask you a question. Did I once say that I want Aaron Glenn to remain the head coach of this team?
No, I mean, and I agree with you. I agree on that, JJ. I do not think Aaron Glenn's a good coach. I think he's a horrible coach.
If I don't think he's a good coach and you don't think he's a good coach, why are we arguing? I don't get it.
You're saying, no, you guys are defending his personality. Like, look, I agree with Jake. You don't say that in the media. Oh, what kind of question is that? Like, in the London game, he was like, oh, trying to defend Fields. Oh, who's the quarterback? It's stupid. You're not winning.
Question.
It's classic media example.
Can I ask you a question?
What's your question?
It's a yes or no. Do you have friends?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you have friends despite the fact that you talk fast and no one can understand you half the time because you just start going like the Energizer Bunny, but you still have friends. So I'm sure there's people who would defend your personality and be like, hey, I know it's not for everybody, but it's for me. And there are people who will swear by Mad Max and say, hey, we love this guy. True or false?
That's true. I mean, everyone likes it.
Just because half the people that might come across you might not like your personality doesn't mean that they're accurate about it. I happen to like Aaron Glenn's personality. Do I think he can do the job? No. It is what it is.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean.
Okay, wait. So you agree with me, right?
Yeah, what do you like about Aaron Glenn's personality? To be honest, do you like how he talks to the media? Because it doesn't fly in the New York market. I'm sorry. JJ.
He talks to the media. Let me ask you a question. Another question I got for you. Do you think the New York media is fair to players and coaches overall?
I think they're being fair to Glenn. I'm not trying to kiss Jake's ass. I'm just saying.
Why do you think superstar players don't want to play in New York, right? Because they don't want to deal with the New York media. The New York media has done more bad than good for New York sports. That is a fact. The New York media has done more bad than good. People don't even want to come to New York because they don't want to have to deal with the media. And then you guys are, oh my God, I can't believe Aaron Glenn is talking so like this to the media. The media. They're grown men. They get paid a job to do reports. Why do we care so much about the media? I mean, Jake, you're a media personality. I get it. So it touches home to you. But you fans acting like the media has ever done anything good for us. What has Rich Samini done for us? He hasn't done nothing. He doesn't play football. He doesn't strap up. What do I care about what Rich Samini has to say or Rich Samini's feelings?
Yeah, I understand that, JJ. I get your point. Oh, he's trying to defend the media, but I think the media is Chad Pennington said this 2000, the media, it's a job, but all they said is our job. No, it's a right and a privilege. And I remember when Pennington said 2000, there's some parts in the media, that I disagree with, with Aaron Rodgers last year, he missed 2 days in Egypt. And look, I agree with you, JJ. Sometimes the New York media is over exaggerated, like Rodgers, he was 2 days in Egypt. And they made a full-blown report out. I'm come on, are you making a full-blown report just to have a story up there? I'm like, are you crazy? I understand with the media sometimes.
Okay,
can you only report on that?
How old are you?
20.
Okay, have you had a job yet, or do you currently have a job?
I'm in college right now, JJ. Come on, I gotta roll.
Imagine after every time you went to class, you left class and you had 5 reporters asking you about everything that you did in class, what you could have done better, why you didn't do this, why you didn't do that. Now, obviously, if you were getting paid millions for it, you would be like, oh, it's not so bad. But at the same time, it's annoying. So the guy's annoyed at the media. He doesn't like the media, and we're making it seem like it's the end of the world. Who the fuck cares? Sorry for cursing. Oh, man, it's a family
That's
show.
the only good thing our Glenn's at. Good at. This is also the damn thing.
What a moment in time. JJ, thank you. Mad Max, thank you. I think JJ met his match. It's Mad Max. Peg and Artie, they're next on the show today. Hello, Peg and Artie.
What's up, Jake? What's up, Asmaniacs? How's everybody tonight?
We're living the dream, Artie. How are you?
Living the dream, man. Listen, I was away. Me and Peg planned this vacation like 2 years ago for the bye week when the schedule came out a year and a half or so ago. We planned this vacation knowing the Jets weren't going to be playing. I didn't realize I was going to miss Armageddon when it came to the trade deadline. My phone blew up while we were in Puerto Rico. I missed all the good stuff. Your reaction. I mean, I did see it on Twitter and a couple of the other guys too. And I don't know if you saw the pictures I posted in the Mad Max shirt. I was running around the ship with a Mad Max shirt.
I showed it on, you tweeted me. I put it on, whatever day that was, we showed it on the air.
Yeah. So we had a good time with that. The guys, I had a whole bunch of strangers doing jet chants on the ship. It was a pisser. But we got off the ship, and one of the downfalls of cruising with 3,000 strangers is some asshole's going to give you COVID. So me and Peg got COVID. But we're all right. It's a strain nowadays is like a cold. It's no big deal. I'm all right. She's all right too. But what do you think? What do you think about instead of drafting a quarterback, we going? I heard a lot of people chatter about Dak. I heard CJ. The Arizona quarterback. Do you think we're going to try and do something like that? Like something more like what Detroit did by getting Goff? We're going to try and get a player that's playing now?
I do not want Kyler Murray at all.
No.
None. I don't want Trevor Lawrence if he were to be available. I don't want the only veteran that I would have any interest in is Burrow because he's 29 and is a top 5 guy. And I get it. There's an injury risk, but you know what? He's a top 5 quarterback, and he's been to a Super Bowl. So I'll take my chances.
What about CJ? No?
I don't love CJ Stroud from what I've been hearing from people that cover the team in Houston. He hasn't been close to what he was when he was unbelievable his rookie year. I don't know. I'm not sold on CJ Stroud. It would depend on what the cost would be to get him.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I don't know either. I know drafting quarterbacks is such a freaking crapshoot. I mean, you can go low and get a guy like Josh Allen. You can go high and get a guy like Trevor Lawrence. I mean, who was better than him in college? Talking about tanking for him, he's very mid. I mean, it's just there's no science to it. That's why I always said I'd want them to draft a quarterback every year. Even if it's lower round, just to try and take a step. And I'm wondering if we're going to have Brady Cook or look at him at all this season. Because, I mean, how can you evaluate any of these players with this freaking guy playing quarterback? He can't throw.
You can't. That's the problem.
He's awful. I don't even understand the game plans. Like, why are they throwing some games and then they come back the very next game and it's like the guy all of a sudden can't throw? It's like it don't make sense.
I completely agree. That's why I want to start Tyrod. Not because I think he's great, but because at least I know Engstrand is not limited with what the plays he could call. And Fields won't. For all we know, Engstrand's call plays that would work if Fields would look downfield and throw it, but he doesn't throw it. Like Tyrod, I know is at least going to give guys a chance to make a play. A.D. Mitchell, when he gets free on a burner route, he's going to get the ball, at least a chance to make a play on it. I have no idea what I'm getting game to game from Fields. I know when 8 starts in 4 of them, that's 50%. He's had under 60 yards passing.
I feel like we're back to where we were a couple of years ago. If we only had a quarterback, we'd probably win more games. And the same shit over and over again.
Definitely. I mean, there's definitely other issues beyond, just the quarterback. I think the head coach leaves a lot to be desired thus far. But yes, at the end of the day, the biggest issue for the Jets by far going into the offseason is the quarterback situation.
Yeah, and paying Sherrod what they paid him. I mean, we need an alpha dog on defense. We don't have nobody anybody's afraid of. There's nobody lining up against our defense that puts fear in anybody. I mean, the only guy that might have put fear in somebody's sauce was they weren't afraid of him. The guy couldn't catch. So, I mean, I don't even know where we're going. But you know what? We won 2 games. The players seem to rally around him. When have you ever seen a Jet team come off a layoff like this and show up? So, man, there
That's
might
a
be something in
positive
the locker
sign.
room.
Yeah, I mean, how often have the Jets played a team as bad as the Browns though after the bye? Like I've had
True.
so look, but I'm not trying to belittle the win. I just want to see more before we be like, oh, they're playing for him. They turned it around. Like, show me something on Thursday. I don't need you to win the game. You're probably not going to. Don't get killed. Don't embarrass yourself. Like that'd be nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice, especially if the defense shows up and could put some pressure on May. I mean, he's a really good player. I mean, but if we could get to him a little bit and get him off the out of the pocket and scrambling and running, I mean, we got to punch his chance anyway. As long as Fields shows up like Pittsburgh and the other games, instead of like this shit that we watched last week.
That'd be nice. Well, hopefully you feel better already. I'm sorry that you have the COVID.
We're on the road back, baby. We're on the road back.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! What the heck? How'd I get here?
What
Hey,
the
how's
offense is giving them. I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am. Oh! No shot. No shots. No shot. That's what I am. That's what I am.
Who's ready for the raffle? Let's go.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
What a show it's been. Shout out to JJ for sitting on hold for God knows how long.
I'm back again? What the heck?
Hey! All right, folks, time for the raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, only one of you can win, but we're all winners. The Jets aren't winners, but Jet fans are winners because we put up with this nonsense. All right, if you win, you got to email me your name and the address where to send your 3D Jets logo wall art to. If you don't win, you know the rules. You're entered in the weekly raffle series for next week. Good luck to everyone. But your winner is the guy who won a Wayne Corvette football earlier today, Kyle Clifton. He's done it again, folks. Yeah. All right, that's a show. Thank you to Joe Blewett. I can't believe this is almost a 3-hour show. God. Short week, though, baby. Jets football on Thursday. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Nothing like it. All right. We're back tomorrow. We will be joined by Nick Shine on the first show and Jeff Parles on the second show. That will take us to game day on Thursday, where I'm planning on doing 3 shows, a morning show, an afternoon pregame show, and then a late night post game talking about whatever happens Thursday night. God. Until then, though, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Let's go Knicks tonight. Everyone have a good evening. And I leave you with a clip that I feel perfectly encapsulates where we are as a fan base. Ladies and gentlemen, on this fine Veterans Day, I want to say thank you to all the vets. God bless America. And thank you for watching today's show.
And I'm proud to be an American.
where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
We got the three dumbest morons on here. Mo, Larry, and Curly.
And your name is Shitty.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.